It's time for high school football, a Beaver County radio tradition for the last 77 years. 2025 Beaver County radio football coverage is being brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, Zookie's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio. 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM and AM 1460 WMBA, Beaver County Radio Digital Media, and beavercountyradio.com. Now let's head out to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
Welcome to New Brighton. The New Brighton Lions hosting the Beaver Falls Tigers on Beaver County Radio. You are listening to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. I'm Mangino Mike Asadi and the King with me in the booth, and Tank Latham on the sideline. We'll check in with Tank coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a matchup of the Midwestern Athletic Conference, and it is a showdown of two teams that for the longest time have been either in, one's out. But right now, it is a dogfight, if you will, to find positioning in this Midwestern Athletic Conference. Western Beaver, clearly the front runner, running away with this, undefeated, looking as though nobody's going to beat them. They're 4-0. But coming in second in a tie, Riverside and Beaver Falls, they're both 3-1. New Brighton showing a lot of strength early and then a bit of an upswing over the past couple of weeks. They are now 2-2 in the conference. They desperately need a win tonight to solidify themselves for a playoff spot. Talking to Coach Mooney of the Tigers earlier today, he says it's great to be in the driver's seat considering that just a few weeks ago they were still winless since November of 23, and now they get to completely control their own destiny. What a matchup we have tonight, Mike.
You know, when you're Jim Mooney and you wear your heart on your sleeve, and boy, you know, they took all those losses so tough last year, and it was unlike a year unlike any other Beaver Falls has had. Winless, not competitive, but the kid stuck with it. He stuck with it. A lot of long sleepless nights, and then this year it started out the same, but they were competitive. He didn't want to hear that. Be competitive. Now, not only are they competitive, but right now they are tied for second, as you said, 3-1. They win this one. I don't think it automatically clinches a playoff berth. I haven't done the mathematics of it, but it pretty much does. And like you said, for New Brighton, they really can't afford a loss. They could still make it with a loss, but boy, it would be a lot easier for them if they could win. So this is the biggest game for these two teams together in probably 15 to 20 years, because New Brighton has not been very good up until last year. And last year's game was, you kind of knew one wasn't going to make it, one had a chance. But this year, you know, if New Brighton loses, it can really affect their playoff position, and they had high hopes coming in this year.
Jim Mooney said before the season started, I can tell you that there won't be one team we line up against that I don't think that we can beat. And what's interesting about this is that they're on a 3-game winning streak. The last loss was against Western Beaver at home. And when you look at the statistics of that game, they're much more evenly matched than what that 36-8 final score ultimately showed. A lot of it was based upon turnovers, very untimely, and the penalty issue, many of them pre-snap.
100% right. I mean, we were at that game, we did that game, and the first thing we said is, they outplayed Western Beaver in that first quarter. They were competitive with them. If they don't turn the ball over like they do, that game isn't 36-8. That game is, maybe 21-14. But they turned it over. They ran the ball against them. They threw the ball against them. They played good defense against them. They played really well. And but when you turn the ball over and you have a lot of penalties, those things happen. And Beaver Falls proved that day that they would stick with anybody. I believe exactly what he says.
And for the past 3 weeks, they've become the cardiac cats. Here is the national anthem from the New Brighton Lions marching band. The New Brighton Lions marching band with band director Hannah Clawbolt. Now, once again, we were talking about Beaver Falls. This last 3 weeks, they've won in the last seconds of games. They've been dubbed the Cardiac Cats up in Beaver Falls. Barely able to squeak out a victory against a number of really good opponents in Mohawk at 8-6, Freedom Area 12-7 final score, and then Union 28-22. Wouldn't be surprised if this game ultimately goes down to the final moments, much like the New Brighton Elwood City game that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. I mean, these teams are still on the upcome. They're getting better. They're not top of the division teams yet. But in this MAC conference, every team is good. Even Union, a winless team, they are still competitive. So every night's a fight. Mohawks lost some players. People thought they'd be tough, and they could still up and beat somebody. So anybody can beat anybody any night. So far, Western hasn't lost, much like Elwood didn't lose last year. But these teams all can beat each other. It's been proven. Tonight we've got Riverside at Elwood City. We've got this game, and we don't yet know what's going to happen in the future because you still have 3 full weeks left, and you don't know for sure who's going to be in, who's going to be out. These teams are all that close, and that's why I really believe that the teams in this conference are going to be so well prepared when it comes playoff time.
Let's go to Tank Latham with the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty. Sideline report number 1, and Tank had an opportunity to talk to Coach Mooney. Tank, what did you learn?
I asked him basically, I congratulated him on being the first playoff game, really, playoff atmosphere between these two teams. And I asked him what he's been telling the guys all week. He said it's jug week. These guys are ready to go. They are super amped up, ready to go. He basically, the motto they have on the back of their helmets, it says no excuses, and they definitely are proving that. I asked him, they got some great athletes on New Brighton's defense, like Heath Lewis and all those guys, and they've been winning games with their defense. How are they going to handle that? They said they feel they have a better offensive line than New Brighton, and they're going to pound the ball, old school, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they feel like that they're going to take care of that. And then I asked them if anybody was out sick, he said everybody's healthy.
Good. It's great to have a full lineup, especially at this late in the season. We'll find out more about Coach McCouga and the New Brighton Lions coming up in a couple of moments when we check in with Tank once again. Also coming up in the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show, we'll take a look at matchups from around the county. Also get a sneak peek at potential CCBC players of the game coming up at the end of the game. That and more, and a check-in from Joe from Boone Powell and the game he is covering tonight. It's all coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager at Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
Welcome back to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. It is the Fishers New Brighton Foodland pregame show. You can listen to us on 99.3 FM, 1230 AM, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM. Don't forget about the Beaver County radio app on your smartphone. If you want to watch the game, you can on Facebook. Just look for us, Beaver County Radio, also on the YouTube channel. And we've got a doctor who's paying attention and watching us online right now. His spouse, a Quaker Valley grad. He is a grad from Springdale, and he's now a professor at the University of Illinois, paying attention and watching us online. I didn't realize that we branched out like this. There's potentially Beaver County people all over the country.
Did you say Quaker Valley grad was the way?
Yes.
That's where I went to school.
Is that right?
Sick, yeah.
We got to do one of your games sometime.
Well, that's up to that guy over there.
Yeah, that guy.
Maybe
it's up to that guy.
Maybe come basketball season.
That guy.
But you know what? There are a lot of people not only watching, listening. I've been getting texts all week. I'm getting texts tonight, people coming into the game. This is probably the biggest game in Beaver County since Aliquippa and Central Valley 4 years ago, when both were undefeated down at Freedom when Aliquippa didn't have their home field built yet. Mm-hmm. This is how big this game is, because these are traditional rivals and haven't had a relevant game against each other in so long. This is a big, big game for the county tonight.
Let's talk about New Brighton and what Coach Makuga has done with this team. He came in last year with the idea of change the mentality. You've got to become people who are thinking about overcoming adversity and emerging victorious in the process. And he's done a pretty remarkable job. Last year turned things around after a couple of really bad seasons. And now this year started off the season winning multiple games in convincing fashion. A couple of injuries then plague them. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't play all that well. Now they're bouncing back on a 2-game winning streak. And it looks as though New Brighton football is for real football in Beaver County.
We did the game a few weeks ago when they were honoring the famous Curtis Walsh. And we were here for that game, and New Brighton came back and won that game against Elwood. They gave field position the whole time. They withstood them on defense. They could have been blown out in that game, and they ran off that field. And that, to me, is a season-defining game. They've been a better team since. You know, Coach McCouga, as a younger guy, relates with the players. They completely changed things in the athletic department. So they've done a great job here. But the big key is kids that played as freshmen have stuck around the seniors. Now you're getting 8, 9, 10 freshmen, and the kids are sticking with it. So the program has more kids, more talent, more reserves, and the kids are sticking with what Coach McCouga's doing.
Well, you talk about sticking with it. These kids, according to Coach McCouga, he was quoted as saying before the season started that from youth football, the senior class, all the way through JV and on the varsity level, I think they've won a total of 5 games. And so they're driven to get over 500. You're talking about young men here that are showing tremendous dedication to a sport and to a program to be willing to endure that their entire football playing career and still want to come out here and now a very real opportunity to make the playoffs this year.
When we talked to some of the New Brighton players on Wednesday, the one thing they said was, when we asked a couple of kids why you stuck with it, they said it was tough. And it was tough when the kids were making fun of us in school, but now we can look at people and we can be proud, and we wanted to stick through it with our buddies. And the one kid said to me, we like to stick together because we get to go out and hit people. and we laughed about it, but now they're buddies.
Funny.
They stick with their buddies, and they're sticking with it. And I told the 2 young kids that I was with, both of them are going to graduate, and if they don't get to play football, they're going to go on and be electricians or welders. And I said, you guys are hardworking now, and that hard work you put in is going to benefit you. And a lot of young kids don't do that, but the New Brighton kids seem to get that now, hard work. And that's what Coach McCouga is bringing to the program.
New Brighton looking to do something that they've not done since 2021, and it's to make the playoffs. They're also looking for that WPIAL title. They've won 3 over the school's history. 1950, 51 when they beat Jeanette 35-6, and then again in 1994 winning the 2A titles. We'll see if they're going to be able to get together a run.
I think our own Tank Latham might have been a water boy on that team.
He may have been. Tank Latham on the sideline. Tank, is that rumor true that Mike just started?
Oh, yeah, I definitely was on that team. I was too heavy to play midget ball, so I just watched the offensive lineman for a few years and played 9th grade ball for 3 years after that.
So you've played, you've coached. What does Coach McCouga mean to this program and to this team and this senior class?
I mean, he's just been a breath of fresh air of knowledge as well, and he knows this community, and everybody just buys in. And he's brought in – it's not just him. He brought in a coaching staff of former players as well, and it just kept that tradition going.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Coming up in just a little bit, we will have the kickoff in about 12 minutes from now. But first, we want to check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. He will have updates all throughout the evening. You can find out more about Joe. Go to his website, boompowsolar.net. Joe.
Friday night light fans from beautiful Elwood City at Healing Stadium. Thank you, Mike and Mangino. I'll bring in 6 great reports tonight, including in the wrap-up show. Tonight's matchup is between the hometown rivals, the Riverside Panthers, 4-3 overall and 3-1 in the conference play, against the home team, Elwood City Wolverines, 3-4 overall and 2-2 in the conference play. This is a Division II rivals with bragging rights on the line, as these 2 high schools are only 3 miles apart. The Riverside Panthers are coached by first-year coach Carter Sweesey, and the Wolverines are coached by Dan Bradley. It's senior night here tonight. Look for a close game between these 2 teams tonight. I'm happy to be here. I want Beaver County to know I am Boom Pow DIY Solar. I am a solar broker working with many solar companies, offering the best pricing in solar. I'm basically saving people and homeowners a fortune on the cost of energy. Last week, I saved John in Grove City almost $100,000 off his energy cost and giving him a predictable lower payment, saving him about $100 a month. That payment will never go up and eventually will go away. I am A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and I want to help save you a ton of money by going solar. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Call me toll-free at 1-844-BOOM POW. Remember, I am the superhero of energy savings. Back to my great colleagues, Mike and Mangino.
Thank you, Joe. Let's go back down to the sideline. Tank, you talked to Coach Makuga about this game. What did he tell you?
Yeah, I asked him basically what he was been telling the guys all week with it being Jug Week and how everybody is super excited. He said they've been treating this just as another week, 1 week at a time, 1 week seasons, and his guys are calm, cool, and collected for sure. I asked him how is he going to handle Dawkins and Clark, and he said basically they're going to contain the running back with the edges, not let him get outside, and when they are doing that, then they're going to go after the quarterback because they feel defense is much better than their offensive line. He also said they're all healthy as well.
Very good. Thank you very much, Tank. It's going to be a challenge for New Brighton to be able to contain Xavier Clark because he is just so nimble on his feet, the number 2 rusher for the Beaver Falls Tigers. We'll come back. We'll take a look at matchups from around the county and get a sneak peek at potential CCBC Player of the Game candidates coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center in Midland opens its 2025-2026 season with the award-winning comedy classic Guys and Dolls, October 3rd through the 12th, sponsored by Clearview Federal Credit Union. For tickets, visit lincolnparkarts.org.
Summer's winding down, but the deals at Fisher's Foodland will get you wound up. Open 7 days a week, Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton is sure to provide all of your summertime essentials at an affordable price. From specials on produce, dairy, beverages, household products, and more. You won't sweat these prices at Fisher's. Don't want to put a pause on your poolside fun? Order your groceries online at shop.grocerystorenewbrighton.com. Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton, your reliable neighborhood grocery store.
This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union with a sizzling update. Hot weather can be uncomfortable, especially when your air conditioning needs fixed. Hot deals, well, that's a different story, right? Friendly Federal Credit Union is offering hot deals on home equity loans. Now, about that air conditioning, beat the heat and get the money to fix the thing with a hot deal home equity loan at Friendly Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall, in love that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-Free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for Beaver Falls, traveling to New Brighton as the Lions hosting the Tigers. Oh my, what a matchup for tonight. Let's look at the potential CCBC Player of the Game candidates here. Mike, we'll start with you. Give me a player or two for the Tigers and then a player or two for the Lions.
Well, for Beaver Falls, I really think that their skilled players have to outplay New Brighton's skilled players, and their skilled player that I've been raving about since I saw him play is Xavier Clark, their quarterback. If he doesn't turn the ball over, he's a kid that can make big plays, big runs, turn the field over. I really like him and you can't forget about their big lineman, Jacob Jessman, the senior 300-pounder. For New Brighton, Jojo Montanez, I really like the way he can keep the clock going. Just kind of a guy that when he got the ball against Elwood City in the game we did earlier, he kept that offense going. I really like him for New Brighton.
Tank, let's go to the sideline and talk to you and find out who you like as pregame favorites for the CCBC Player of the Game.
My pregame player of the game, I believe, is going to be Bryson Porter-Jones. I was real impressed with him during pregame, and also when he came down to Coach's Corner this past Wednesday. He seems like he's ready to play here against Beaver Falls. And then obviously for Beaver Falls, I've always been big on number 9, Dawkins. I think he's going to have a huge night tonight.
You can't go wrong with the choice of Christian Dawkins. Kenny Jewell, I think, is going to be one that is going to stand out tonight. He is the leader in this team when it comes to defense. Leads in tackles, solo tackles, tackle assists. He's up there with sacks, tackles for loss. He leads. He's tied for the lead with interceptions. And he's going to have another standout game tonight, I believe. And don't be surprised they figure out more ways of getting him the ball. I like him a lot.
I think as Clark has gotten better as a quarterback, they have tried to get him on the loose because one-on-one he's tough to cover. We saw some big plays with him the last time we saw them play. I know we feel he should be used more, but I think they realize that a developing young quarterback, you don't want to risk too much because he did have some turnovers. But I think you're right. If Joel gets loose and you can get him the ball, he's a guy you really watch for on offense.
And then Heath Lewis for New Brighton. He is a standout stud on defense. He runs hard when you give him the ball. He was the guy who just cemented the win for New Brighton against Elwood City. He just loves to make contact, and I think Heath Lewis is going to have another big game tonight.
It's a nice 1-2 punch. Montanez, who's a quick guy, and Lewis, who's the guy that pounds it in there. He took effect when Elwood got a little tired, and then he just kind of took over that game in the second half. But it's really nice to have at this level as a nice 1-2 punch on offense.
A couple minutes until kickoff. Let's go through the Fry Transportation update desk and matchups here. Aliquippa is hosting Blackhawk.
Aliquippa is definitely the better team there, and if you're Blackhawk, you just hope that you could stay within a couple touchdowns of them.
Can Ambridge get their win against Montour?
I don't think so. Montour's the better team, and Ambridge is in big trouble right now.
North Catholic is traveling to Beaver, Trojans and Bobcats.
That's one of the other big games in Beaver County. If Beaver plays the game that they did back against Hopewell, they could beat North Catholic. But North Catholic almost beat Central Valley last week. North Catholic's a good team. The loser of that game might not make the playoffs.
Central Valley and Quaker Valley.
Well, Central Valley, the better team there. QV, a little bit better than last year, but they're still rebuilding.
Cornell hosts Rochester.
Cornell, the better team. They're off from what they were last year. Rochester better than they were earlier in the year, but it's a tough year for Rochester. They just missed a win the last 2 weeks by a few points each game.
Union Scotties, they're looking for their first win. Freedom Bulldogs looking to bounce back from Riverside.
Union's got a shot there. Freedom did not play as well as we thought they would last week. Freedom's still a young team, but this is a good chance for Union to get a win.
And Hopewell's traveling to Freeport. Freeport looking really good this season, but they don't play the conference that
this is going to be a big definer of how good this conference is. If Hopewell goes there and smacks them around, then I really believe we're going to get 4, maybe 5 teams from the West Hills Conference in the playoffs. If Hopewell has trouble with Freeport, that's going to show people that conference is a little bit better. It's a big game, non-conference.
Southside going up 376 to take on the Lancers.
The loser probably won't be in the lead for the division. It's a 3-way tie now between Laurel, Neshannock, and Southside. Big game for Southside on the road.
Newcastle is hosting their 3rd game in a row, this time West Allegheny.
Boy, which West A team's going to show up? The one last week that played Aliquippa and didn't play well, or the one 2 weeks ago that beat up on Ambridge? And Newcastle's got a quarterback that everybody is talking about, a freshman. There's been articles written about him. He's now one of the biggest sensations, along with Armstrong from Hopewell. We've got 2 people from this general area at quarterback that are getting heavily recruited.
And not only this big rivalry matchup tonight, where the borders touch with New Brighton and Beaver Falls, another big rivalry, Elwood City hosting Riverside.
Yeah, rivalry game. Those kids, we talked to them a couple weeks ago from Elwood. They're looking forward to it. Riverside's looking forward to it. That's a rivalry another rivalry that hadn't been relevant for years, but both of those teams fighting for playoffs right now. So that's a big game along with this one and the Beaver game.
And we are set for kickoff. The Tigers kicking off to the Lions. They will be going from right to left as you are imagining it as you're listening to the radio. Don't forget you can always watch on Facebook and on YouTube. Kenny Jewell is set for the kickoff. Oh no, Beck is kicking off. Beck is kicking off. Derek Beck. And the kick is out of bounds, and now New Brighton will get it 1st and 10. Very good field position for New Brighton on offense. Carter Jackson, the quarterback, JoJo Montanez, Jamarcus Morris, and Heath Lewis. You'll see a lot of all three of them tonight. Bryson Porter-Jones, Michael Cleckley II, and Joseph Kennedy lead the charge at wide receiver. The offensive line, a pretty big one. Matthew Steele, 6'1", 230. Khalil Castaneda, 6'2", 240. Dominic Pasquale, 5'10", 175, the smallest of the bunch. And then Jaden Brown at tackle at 200 pounds. And then Tyler Marquette, 6'4", 300. Expect them to run a lot behind them. There's another penalty against Beaver Falls that will move the ball even further now, all the way out to the 50-yard line.
15 yards.
So now New Brighton having absolutely fantastic field position, starting off at the 50-yard line. They are in their maroon and gold, white helmets, gold numbers, and Carter Jackson getting up under center. Two running backs behind him, wing back set to the right. Man in motion around the backside. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looking for a man, has it. Heath Lewis all the way into the 30-yard line. Fumble. Who has it? It looks as though maybe Beaver Falls has recovered the fumble.
Yep.
And now they have it 1st and 10 going the other way.
You know something? I love the play call. Yeah, they're a running team, and you want to fool them. They've seen your tape. What do? You roll out and you hit one of your best backs. He gets, 15, 20 yards or rumbling. He's going to be inside the 20. He gets it punched out, I believe. And just like that, our first big salvo of the game, a big fumble by New Brighton, and Beaver Falls takes over.
Talking to Coach Mooney earlier today, turnovers are absolutely critical to getting the number of possessions that you want. And if you can steal a possession, it can be significant. So now Xavier Clark at quarterback with Christian Dawkins in the backfield. Referee is holding up play for a couple of moments. Also back there with him is Kenny Jewell. There's a bit of a conversation. Not quite sure what they're talking about.
Clark's only listed at 125. He's bigger than that, but boy, I tell you what, I really believe this young man has a chance to be special. If he grows into himself, gets a little bit more muscle on him, keeps that speed, he just kind of reminds me of a Steve Breston type where he can run from the quarterback position.
Handoff, Dawkins over that left tackle, able to get a couple of yards. So Xavier Clark set up in the shotgun with running backs on either side. Christian Dawkins on the left side, Kenny Jewell on the right. And don't be surprised if we see more of Kenny Jewell set up not only at wide receiver, at a slot back position, tailback position, trying to figure out ways, if nothing else, to get the ball to him, and if nothing else, maybe just as a distraction. They come back in a similar formation, 3 wide receivers wide, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Xavier Clark, shotgun formation, backs beside him. He decides to call his own number, runs it up the middle, following Jesseman, his big center at nearly 300 pounds, and he gets first down pickup. He's out to the 25.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, he just basically ran right up the middle. He was fast, got through the line, got through that hole quick. That quickness is evident on that play. Another thing they're probably going to do when they go back to pass and it breaks down and there's all that room where the linebacker should be, you'll see him take off and get yardage there. He showed already why he's the fastest guy on the field.
This time, Kenny Jewell up more as a fullback. This time, Dawkins over that right side trying to find some room, making a couple of men miss. Positive yardage for him and then ultimately push back. They're going to give him a gain of what looks to be about 3 out to the 38-yard line.
Well, New Brighton seems set to stop the run. They know that that's a big part of Beaver Falls' game, and they've stopped him twice now. Clark's the guy that they haven't stopped yet.
Christian Dawkins leading the charge when it comes to running for Beaver Falls. 97 carries on the year, 451 yards. And now Xavier has it over that right side following his blockers. Nice pickup. Looks as though he has another big first down all the way out to the 47-yard line. So another huge pickup, and this offensive line for Beaver Falls controlling the defensive line for New Brighton.
And, he went right side, and they're mixing things up. He went right side. He followed his blockers. If he's ahead of his blockers or gets through the line and there's nobody there, he gets brought down after 2 or 3 yards. What's he do? That play was well run. You follow your blockers. They open up a hole, and a quick guy gets through. First down.
3 wide receivers are set wide one more time. 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Ball near the far hash mark. Clark decides to keep it again, has it by himself, and takes it all the way up near the 45-yard line. Another big pickup. This one about 7 yards on the play, setting up a 3rd and 3.
And I think Jim Mooney realizes, which a lot of people are, that he is as good as he's shown, and he's getting better. Use that quickness against teams that don't have the quickness and see if they can stop him. So far they haven't. He hasn't broken off a really big one yet.
But they run him a little bit like a wildcat.
They do.
They let the tailbacks go and lead the blocking for him, and they're ready to do that. This time a handoff to Dawkins. Dawkins able to get to the line of scrimmage and maybe an additional yard, setting up a 3rd and 2 for Beaver Falls. Their first 3rd down, and it looks as though there was a defensive back for New Brighton that was down, but he got back.
You make a really good point. If the running back's running through the line, you're set to tackle him. But if the running back's running through the line without the ball and he's taking a lineman with him, he's taking a linebacker with him, he paves the way for you, especially a guy like they have at New Brighton and Heath Lewis. That is a big thing to run behind.
Huge 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Clark has it over that right side following Dawkins. He has the first down and more, well into New Brighton territory, all the way down to the 45-yard line. That is 2 plays now that they've run over the right side. The right side is led by Jazeer Harris, number 72. The kid's a freshman.
Yeah.
And he's about 220 pounds. Coach Mooney said he has not missed a day at the weight room since he joined the JV team back in December of last year at the end of last season.
I want to correct myself. You're right, it's Dawkins. I had the wrong roster up, but you're right. Dawkins is the guy that he's following in.
Xavier Clark follows Dawkins again, this time to the left side, trying to get outside, tripped up, and able to fall forward for about a gain of 2. A bit of an ankle tackle there by the defensive lineman. It looks as though that was Khalil Castaneda that was able to get in there and trip Xavier Clark up.
Since we've seen them in week 1, I believe it was, week 2, their offense is really focused around him now. It was all Dawkins pretty much before with a sprinkling of Clark. Now it's a lot of Clark. Maybe it's just this series, but boy, has he been the guy for them. 2, 3 first downs already? 3 carries of about 8 or 9 yards or more. He's been very effective, and it's taking time off the clock.
Speaking of time off the clock, we're under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Snap, Clark has it, trying to get over that left side. He did. First down pickup once again for Clark, all the way down inside near the 30-yard line. He had to get to the 35. They're going to mark him down around the 33. So Xavier Clark continuing to show his speed. And you mentioned how small he is. Mm-hmm. Really tough for a guy who only weighs a buck and a quarter.
When you're that fast, man, it's hard to bring down. He's getting bigger, and he's just the fastest guy on the field. Now, they've kept him from the 20, 30, or the all the way touchdowns, but this is taking time off the clock. This is what Beaver Falls wants. You don't want the ball. You don't want New Brighton to have the ball. You don't want them to go on long drives because you know they're capable as well. You want to come to their place and punch them in the mouth early.
6:20 and a running clock. Clark bookends behind him. Hands it off. This time Kenny Jewell has it over the right side, spins, and gets in close to the 30-yard line. Pickup of what looks to be about 2 on first down.
grind it out, get a few here, get a few there. But the line for New Brighton has done pretty good on everything up the middle except when Clark has the ball. They've done well against Dawkins. They've done well against Kenny Jewell. They've done well against everybody. 2 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards, little tiny bursts. Clark's the guy right now carrying them.
Xavier Clark, was he able to get New Brighton to jump, or did the Tigers jump? Motion on the Tigers, backing up 5 yards. The first negative play for Beaver Falls, so instead of a 2nd and 8, it's now a 2nd and 13. They've been able to pick up big enough chunks so far that you would think that this isn't going to be too difficult for them to get, because they're clearly in what looks to be 4-down territory.
Yeah, I would think no matter what happens here, they're not going to punt from here. I doubt. I don't think either team will when they get inside the 40. Unless it's late in the game and you've got a lead, then you might punt. We've seen that backfire.
Xavier Clark, shotgun. Jewell and Dawkins on either side. Hands it off to Dawkins over that right side. Plenty of room. Slams into a New Brighton defensive end and plows himself forward near the 30-yard line. Got all of that penalty yardage back and then some.
Yep, about 8 yards.
He's bruising.
Think about this, Robert. I mean, they've had 6-7 yards of about 8 yards or more, and 4 or 5 yards of 4 or 5 runs of about 2 to 3. They're averaging probably, again, I don't have the math in my head, but they're averaging probably 5 yards a carry. That's pretty darn good.
Christian Dawkins, 5'11", 200 pounds, and he makes sure people feel it when he comes through the line. He's in the backfield with Clark, blocks for him. Clark up the middle, splits the gap, and gets a big first down pickup. All the way inside the red zone. They're down inside the 20-yard line, and Beaver Falls continues to roll at will.
Clark left, Clark right, Clark up the middle, sprinkle in a little bit of Jewell, sprinkle in a little bit of Dawkins to the right. It's been an effective offense so far, and it is eating up most of this first quarter.
We're coming down to 4:10 and a running clock, 4:05 now. And now we have Xavier Clark with Jewell on one side, Dawkins on the other. He decides to keep it himself, follows Dawkins, finds a lane, inside move over that right side, and is able to pick up another big pickup of about 5 yards as they continue to run behind the big freshman.
I'll tell you one thing. I just, I stood up here so I could see the end of this field. There's not a seat to be found here on the New Brighton side, and I look over the Beaver Falls side. It's packed, and there are people rung around the fences. This likely is the biggest crowd New Brighton's seen in, I'm going to guess, 20 years, maybe more. This is a big, big crowd for this special game between these two, the jug game.
Atmosphere is fantastic. Xavier Clark takes it, hands it off. And that time Dawkins was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He may have fallen forward for a half, but no more than that. You're right about the atmosphere here. There's a level of energy. I mean, I thought there was a good energy when Elwood City came.
Yeah, this is
different. But this is even amped up 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Look at the people around outside that aren't even in the stadium, and in the stadium on the fences, and there's a lot of people here. This big third down. They got 2 plays to make 5 yards. It would be big if New Brighton could stop them here.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Xavier Clark trying to get New Brighton to jump off sides. Waiting, takes a snap, and then there is a stoppage. What are they stopping for? Timeout, yeah. Beaver Falls. So Jim Mooney wants to talk about it. We'll let him do that. We'll pause for 30 seconds. Back on Beaver County Radio.
If you or someone you know is experiencing homelessness or a housing-related crisis in Beaver County, help is just a call away. The cornerstone of Beaver County provides a pathway home through emergency shelter, housing and utility assistance, and basic needs. To access help or to support the cornerstone of Beaver County's work to ensure housing and hope for everyone in our community, visit cornerstonebeaver.org or call 724-846-6400.
2:36 to go in the first quarter, except for one play.
Yep.
New Brighton with that one quick pass play to Heath Lewis, who then fumbled. Beaver Falls took it off of that one play and has absolutely eaten up this entire clock, and they're looking to be driving for a score.
When you can be effective like this, you limit the other team to a couple good possessions, a half and you score on yours, just like Riverside last week against Freedom. Score early, play good defense, and just run the ball and eat up clock. And that's old school football.
Kenny Jewell, wide receiver, wide to himself over here on the left side. Single man coverage. Xavier Clark under center. Tries to follow adjustment, and they stuff it up.
Interesting call.
New Brighton rises to the occasion and comes to the stop. Dominic Pasquale, 5'10", 175, little guy, but he clogged up that middle.
I don't get that. I mean, you're running left with Kenny. You're running left with Clark. You're running right with Clark. You run up the middle with Clark. You roll out. You do all these things, and now you go under center and try a sneak. That just didn't make – I think they were trying to surprise them, but it didn't work. Now you have to get 5 yards for a first down, which they're more than capable of doing, but New Brighton has a great shot here to stop them.
4th down, 5 yards to go. Xavier Clark has it, throws it to the corner, and just overthrows Kenny Jewell.
Wow.
He was open in the corner of the end zone, just not able to make the connection. And so now Beaver Falls kills about 10 minutes of time of possession, but at the same time, no score.
That's deflating. And, I don't want to say dominate, but yeah, they dominated them on the line. They ran the ball down the field, and then you get to 3rd and 5, and you try a play like that. I just don't understand it. But New Brighton did a great job on defense, and right now you see why Clark is that running quarterback. He's not really a throwing quarterback, and now New Brighton with the ball.
Carter Jackson under center, 3 running backs behind him. Hands it off over that left side, and a nice positive pickup of about maybe 2, possibly 3 yards on the play.
I'd try the same exact play they started with right away because it worked to perfection. If it's not for the fumble, they'd have had a 20-yard gain. I wouldn't be surprised we see that come soon because Beaver Falls is set to try to stop the run against them as well.
So Carter Jackson, JoJo Montanez, Jamarcus Morris, and Heath Lewis make up the backfield for the New Brighton Lions. Heath Lewis is back there on Carter Jackson's right hip. Takes a snap, hands it off to the wingback, and out to the outside, trying to get a first down pickup. He's awfully close. Michael Cleckley
think he's
on
a
the
little short.
sweep.
He's a little short by a yard.
Maybe by 1.
But a nice play, though, not running into the line. And
well, one of the things that Cleckley did really well against Elwood City 2 weeks ago was get outside and force that perimeter and get these big defensive linemen for Beaver Falls to have to pursue laterally instead of just north-south. And so now Jackson with Lewis on his hip once again. 2 wide receivers to the wide side either way. Lewis over that left side, big first down. He's off to the races. 40, out to the 45, and finally pushed out of bounds near midfield. They had him at the 45. He figured out a way of being able to wiggle around and get 5 more.
Let me demonstrate on you, Robert. You can't tackle a guy like him up here on the shoulder.
That's right.
You got to go low. You got to go beneath the hip. You tackle a guy like him high, you saw it. If you're watching any review of this, he gets hit and just plows through. The good backs know how to stay on their feet. And they might get one more playoff before the end of the quarter, buddy.
We're less than 35 seconds to go in the quarter. And Carter Jackson, shotgun. Hands it off, this time right up the middle. And JoJo Martinez was tripped up at the ankles, or he was off to the races, but he picked up 3. That could be the last play of the first quarter. Under 15 seconds now, and it looks as though they're going to be contented to go ahead and let that be the very last play. So the score is knotted up at 0s going into the second. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call Gnu's Body Works in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod to street custom to full custom color paint coloring. So say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call Gnu's Body Works, 400 8th Street, Freedom today.
It's time to tackle your HVAC unit's problems before they happen. It's time to call the winning team at Johnson's Heating and Cooling. Temperatures will be changing, so it's the perfect time to call Johnson's for a maintenance check. And here's the best part. If you're in Beaver County, you're close to Johnson's, conveniently located in Beaver Falls. Find out why customers keep running back to Johnson's Heating and Cooling for prompt, reliable service and competitive pricing. Call 724-581-4195 or visit johnsonsheating@comcast.net.
Welcome back. We're knotted up at zeros in New Brighton, the Lions and the Tigers. And in that first quarter, it was all about the Tigers moving the ball down the field, but ultimately for naught. Let's check in with Tank Latham on the sideline. And Tank, dominant performance at the line of scrimmage, but still no points.
Yeah, Beaver Falls, they were running basically old school offense where they were basically doing what's called an ISO block, where they were isolating the fullback, not the fullback, but the backers with a pulling guard, and it just was effective, but they stalled out down here in the end zone.
And now there's a bit of a conversation. The referee's coming over to the sideline while they work some things out. Let's check in with Joe from Boom Pile DIY Solar. He is at the Riverside Elwood game. Joe, what's the latest there?
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. I want to make a correction. The head coach of Riverside is Robert Magnafiso. Please forgive me. Tyler Smiley, 44-yard pass connect to Dom DiNucci. Quarterback down to real close to the 10-yard line, 20 yards. Then the Panthers at the 10-yard line. Touchdown call back with the push. No push in high school. But Colin Golo scores with 5:31 left. The score now is 6-0 with 5:23 left in the first quarter. And Elwood City is winning once again 6-0. Call me 1-844. Boom Pow. Back to Mike and Mangino.
And we are back. Don't forget about games happening across the Beaver County area. Blackhawk and Aliquippa, no score reported there. In fact, it looks as though nobody has been able to report a score so far.
Elwood 6-0 over Riverside.
Is that what you have? Your
kick
super
was missed.
Secret sources?
Well, Tank texted both of us. I thought you're on the text. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, but maybe it was just a little private thing with the two of you.
No, you're here. I see your face.
All
look,
right.
Look, here you are.
All right, I see it now. No, I was checking. I was checking the other score source, and the other score source doesn't have any scores at the moment. So here we go. New Brighton lined up, second down. They're looking at a 2nd and 6. And Carter Jackson, shotgun, man in motion, hands it off, looking to throw the ball, has a man wide open. Can he make the connection? In and out of the hands of the receiver, Michael Cleckley, looking for Bryson Porter Jones. He was open. And then 2 Beaver Falls Tigers collapsed on him. And now Bryson Porter Jones is on the field, slow to get up.
You know what, boy? I love the creativity. I love it. I mean, you know, years ago, coaches just run, pass now and again. But the way the game is played now, you see the video game-like play. You see that type of football is played in the NFL. It's played in college. And it naturally flows down into high school. And these kids grow up watching that kind of play, and they're excited by it. And it was run perfectly. I mean, the ball was in and out of their hands. It was thrown good. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a guy that doesn't throw much, and he still did it. So I like that kind of creativity. And are we going to get another penalty against New Brighton? No, we're not. But it just fell in and out of his hands. But we've seen New Brighton with a couple creative plays so far. Twists early in the game. The pass, now a pass here. This is a team that doesn't pass a lot. And 2 big pass plays. One went good, and the other was a fumble.
Big play here on 3rd down. 3rd and 6. Carter Jackson, shotgun. I formation beside him. Hands it off and immediately stopped. JoJo Montanez was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Defensive lineman for Beaver Falls Submarines, and that was a combination tackle there. And one of the big guys in on that tackle, Jazeer Harris, was there along with Jacob Jesseman. Amari Easton was down there as well. But a big-time stop, and now a 4th and 6 and a big decision here for New Brighton. If they don't convert, then the Tigers get fantastic field position, but they're going for it. Carter Jackson Man on his hip. Looks like it's JoJo Montanez. Back to pass. Single coverage down the left side. Throws it, airs it out. Incomplete.
Well, that's tough on fourth down, going 20 yards downfield, Robert.
He was trying to find Joseph Kennedy, the junior, and just beyond the outstretched arms, but he may be able to have another opportunity here because we have a flag down on the play.
Real quick from the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk, courtesy Tank Latham. Ambridge 7, Montour nothing in the first quarter, 3 minutes left. How about that?
Motion against New Brighton. The penalty is declined now. Beaver Falls gets it first down here. You think that field position would be critically important.
Yeah.
And that sometimes when you're in a close game like this, you're better off punting it away and making them start from inside their own 20-yard line.
That's why we get paid to broadcast and they get paid to coach, I guess. But, I'm thinking it's 0-0. They just ran the ball, 75 yards against you and methodically moved it down. And you take that risk. Now they get the ball at midfield. Your defense has to step up. It's a tie game. I know you want to take risks, but sometimes you need to pin a team deep.
And now the referee stopped the play.
Timeout
charge to New Brighton. 11:07 to go in the second quarter. We'll come back in 30 seconds. Score is knotted up at 0 on Beaver County Radio.
Are you looking for a cigar, tobacco, vape, and roll your own supply store in Beaver County? Visit Vape and Roll With It at 751 Merchant Street, Ambridge to shop for a variety of the best cigars in the walk-in humidor. They also sell vape juice, disposable vapes, glass, and CBD. You can also view several of their in-store promotions by following Vape and Roll With It on Facebook and Instagram. Visit vapeandrollwithit.com for more information. Don't worry about prices or stress, just roll with it. Open 7 days a week on Merchant Street in Ambridge. That's Vape and Roll With It.
Then you get the...
Here we go. We are back. Score 0-0 New Brighton and Beaver Falls. And an interesting timeout called on the change of possession because of the lack of the ability to converting that fourth down play. And now Beaver Falls has it. Beautiful field position. They're at the 47-yard line, their own 47, but right there near midfield. And pretty much being able to move the ball at will in that first quarter in that really long sustained drive, but
we'll see if they can
New
do
Brighton
it again
able
here.
to stop things up. Don't forget about coming up on Sunday, way back when. It will be going back to the 2021 Class A semifinal nail-biter as Ulsh took on G. Matzlick's Rochester Rams. That happens on Sunday at 8 o'clock, October the 12th. Xavier Clark takes it, follows Christian Dawkins, has a lane, and is able to get out beyond midfield. Pickup of about 3 on first down.
From the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk, a correction. I was led to believe Ambridge was up, but it is Montour that is up 7-0 on Ambridge, and then Freedom up 7-0 over Union. So important game for Freedom. If they could win out, they still have a chance at the playoffs. So still everybody in it. I think Union might be eliminated by now, but everybody else still with a chance. Union playing up to 2A. They decided that they wanted to play up to 2A. They're a 1A school, so interesting to see if in the next 2 years if they go back to 1A. They should be in the conference with Rochester.
Yeah, it would make more sense. I mean, I respect teams that want to go, schools that want to play up like that. Xavier Clark follows his offensive lineman, gets out beyond the 47-yard line, down in near the 46.
I do
third
too.
And what looks to be about 4 yards. It's nice that you want to play up and get bigger competition. But at the same time,
you have to
it's
have
difficult.
the athletes. You only have 20, 25 kids. It's hard to compete moving up. You don't have a lot of depth. That the single-A schools you're playing with, Rochester and such, have smaller rosters except for Southside.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably should stay there. And plus, you're going to have a lot of more traditional rivals in single-A too.
3rd and 5. And Xavier has it, plows his way forward, and is able to get the first down by a yard. Went up over that right side behind Zavon Walker, the senior, and Jazeer Harris, the freshman, and able to get that first down.
And Jessamine was in there too. Boy, that line really pushed that time, didn't it? I mean, when you see linemen 5 yards downfield, Robert, you know, and we've got that from Tank telling us, that you just know the line's doing a good job. You just saw the whole line move New Brighton's whole line. And that's trouble for New Brighton. They've got to find ways to get a helmet in there and take the legs out of Clark, because he is chopping up yardage over and over and over again.
Beaver Falls is sized to go 4 wide this time. 2 to the top, 2 down here to the bottom. Xavier Clark and Christian Dawkins on his hip. Back to pass, stumbles, slips, falls, gets back up, doesn't actually have a knee touch. He's able to get inside the 35-yard line. Will there be a flag? Yes, there are 2. So from the 35 down to the 20-yard line for the late hit on Xavier Clark.
Well, not surprising. We got a note from the sideline telling us that these kids are hitting each other pretty hard and a lot of back and forth. I'm sure there's a lot of talk. Late hit, that's going to cost New Brighton. That was not very smart. But how about the play by Clark? Almost falls down, almost slips, gets back up. Not only does he get back up, he probably got about 7 yards on that play.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take it from there and get, 15 more? They're going to be inside the 20-yard line.
Yes, they will. Let's go down to Tank on the sideline. Tank, you were mentioning about the blocking in the first quarter that Beaver Falls was running, and now it seems as though they've mixed it up a bit.
Yeah. The first quarter they were doing a lot of guard pulls. Now they've looked like they've changed to a zone blocking scheme where basically it's either whole line blocks left, whole line blocks right, and they got really tight splits. The only real way to beat that as a defensive lineman is basically do a bear crawl and create a pile, and it's very hard to do that as a high school lineman.
Thank you.
Is it difficult to make the adjustments on the blocking from possession to possession for defensive linemen?
Yeah, you got to be able to have the right personnel, and if they're not having a stoppage to play, it's hard to get those guys in there.
Here we go. Xavier Clark once again with Christian Dawkins, this time on his left hip. 3 wide receivers out. Dawkins over that right side once again. Nice pickup by Christian Dawkins. Looks as though he's got about 5 on that carry before he's pushed back.
Both of these teams, they got a lot of fight in them. You could see the hitting that's going on. It's not illegal, it's not headhunting, but these kids are hitting hard. They're both physical teams, both teams with a lot of pride now, and teams that have gotten better because they're hitting more, because they're being coached better. You could just tell the way New Brighton's tackling and hitting, and same thing with Beaver Falls.
So now Beaver Falls, 2nd and 6. Clock is running down to 8:15 to go in the second quarter. They are inside the red zone. They're at the 17-yard line of New Brighton. Clark takes it, fakes the toss, keeps it himself up the middle. He's sprinting toward the end zone, gets down inside the 5. First and goal at the 5 for the Beaver Falls Tigers.
Did you see that hole? I mean, they had 3 wide receivers spread left. He immediately took the ball, hesitated for just a second, and as we have a player injured, they're going to be a freeze timeout. There was such a big hole. He saw that. Now, I think it was one of those plays where he decides, is he going to throw it to one of his guys, or you see the open lane? That lane was probably 10 yards long. He shot through it, and it wasn't until the secondary that somebody caught and got him. A nice pickup. That was a beautiful play by Xavier Clark.
And down on the play was Michael Cleckley II, but he is back up, and it looks as though they're going to be able to get him off the field under his own power. And what a great design by the offensive coordinator, Steve Campos. I was talking to Coach Mooney. He says, listen, I fired myself as the offensive coordinator.
Nice.
I was an offensive line coach. I became offensive coordinator because I had to last year. I wasn't any good at it. And so I brought in Steve Campos, and he's just absolutely brilliant at this position. And what a wonderfully designed play by faking it to the outside. You get everybody moving that way, and then you cut it back in with Xavier Clark, and it seems as though he has all the daylight he needs.
And that's exactly what you do. You take tacklers out of the play by putting wide receivers to the left, so you never know if they're going to pass. A lot of times, most of the time, they don't. Now they're in tight looking for a tush-push maybe.
Everybody is in tight. Xavier Clark under center. Full house backfield behind him. He takes it, hands it off. Dive play up the middle behind Jesseman and his right guard, Zavon Walker. And it looks as though there's a touchdown for the Tigers. Wow. When you put 3 running backs back there with Xavier Clark under center, what is going to happen? For a defense, it's got to be so uncertain at that point because they could dive with it, or they could just have him fake it and then roll out to the outside. It's just so hard to make a very firm commitment on a play like that.
That's Isaiah Sellers scores the touchdown.
Isaiah Sellers, the sophomore, doesn't get a lot of carries, only 3 carries for 4 yards coming into this game. Now make it 4, and it looks as though he may have 8 yards, and now give him another touchdown. Give him his first touchdown on the season.
Interesting.
So now Beaver Falls is going to go for 2, up 6-0. And now there is a timeout.
By Beaver Falls.
They're going to talk about it, and while they do, we'll take a timeout too. 30 seconds, we're back. Beaver Falls up 6-0 on New Brighton on Beaver County Radio.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
That touchdown play, Sellers up the middle, a big run, ultimately set up in large part because of what took place the play before. And Tank down on the sideline. Tank, what's interesting about that way that setup was the read that Xavier Clark had to make on that play to have it be as successful as it was.
Yeah, I mean, I was standing about the 40-yard line far back, and I could see it come out to play. Basically, the quarterback was able to see that the numbers were in the middle. I would not be surprised if he tried to break it out bootleg left sometime.
Xavier Clark throws it out to the flat to Christian Dawkins. Dawkins, 2-point conversion is good, and now the Tigers go up 8-0 on New Brighton. 7:30 to go until halftime. Back with the kickoff on Beaver County Radio.
Searching for a sleek new ride without breaking the bank this summer? All Access Automotive next to the YMCA has you covered. With reliable service, easy financing, and an extensive list of inventory, All Access Automotive has become the premier spot in Beaver County to find your car of the future. Looking to trade in your current vehicle? All Access will give you a fair trade-in value. Browse the eye-catching All Access lot Monday through Saturday and talk to an All Access representative and learn more today. All Access Automotive, where reliability and transparency come before anything else.
And we're back. Scores from around the county on the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Central Valley up on Quaker Valley, 21-0. Aliquippa out in front of Blackhawk, 7-0. That is still in the first quarter. And let's see, Hopewell and Freeport, they're tied at 7, and they are still in the first quarter.
Freedom is up on Union, 14-0 as well.
And now we're set for the kickoff. Derek Beck. And he kicks it high, and it is a short kick, bounces, and then rolls back inside the 10-yard line, finally picked up, and then swarmed under inside the 15-yard line. That was a difficult return. Jojo Montanez not able to handle the rolling kick, and by the time he was able to get it, then the return team, the coverage team for Beaver Falls, able to swarm, and now it's 1st and 10. New Brighton at their own 15-yard
Yeah,
line.
that's a mistake. That cost them maybe 15 to 20 yards. Tank's telling us from the sidelines that injury to Devin Porter-Jones looks like he is out and done for the game. Also, quickly, Elwood City now 12-0 over Riverside.
Bryson Porter-Jones, the number 1 wide receiver for New Brighton. That is a huge loss to not be able to have the big senior in there. This time a handoff and plenty of room for Jojo Montanez up the middle. Looks as though he has a first down pickup. They're saying he does. 10 yards in a cloud of dust for Jojo Montanez.
You think about it, this is only their third possession. First possession, as you mentioned, was one play. They had a nice possession where they turned it over on downs. Now they need something. They're down 8-0, and you got to figure if this game keeps going like it is, you're going to see each team with the ball maybe 2 to 3 more times, and that's it. So you better make some hay.
Hands it off this time. Heath Lewis is stopped in the backfield. Immediately hit, and he breaks a couple of tackles and gets outside. My goodness. They had him dead to rights for a good 4-yard loss. He turns that thing around into some positive yardage because he just willed himself to not be tackled on that play.
I mean, he should have been tackled 3 times, and the fact that he got 2 yards out of it is amazing because it looked like about a 7-yard loss. So for New Brighton to get something out of that, they're going to say he got 1, but yeah, well, the stick is a little bit awkward from where they're at. The stick guys down there, CB, what are you guys doing down there?
Looks as though we're going to call it a 2nd and 8. And they're set up at the 27-yard line. Wide receiver goes wide to the top, ball at the near hash mark. They're going from right to left as you're listening. Jojo Montanez in motion, takes the handoff, tries to get over that right side, and the defense just swarming. And they would not let him get back to the line of scrimmage. And if they did, it was about all the further they were going to let him go. So it sets up a 3rd now and 8 for New Brighton.
Beaver Falls is taking control of this game, and they really have. They've done both of their possessions. They marched down the field. One touchdown, the other one, New Brighton had good defense and stopped them inside the 10 or 20. New Brighton's had 3 possessions, and they fumbled on the first. Second one, turnover on downs after only getting a couple of first downs. And now here they're staring down 3rd and 9. They have not been able to move the ball that well, and that's because Beaver Falls' linemen are doing a great job of penetration and stopping the running game.
And considering they're only playing 3 down linemen, too, it really gives the linebackers an opportunity to go ahead and fill those gaps.
Yep.
Fumble, picked it up, pressure's coming from his backside, throws it, tries to get it away, and almost a completion, but in and out of the hands of his receiver. He was looking for Jojo Montanez on the right flat. So now it's 4th and 8. New Brighton really struggling to move the football tonight.
I just think, watching the linemen, watching the linebackers, watching Clark, right now, athletically, Beaver Falls just a little bit quicker than New Brighton. I'm not saying that New Brighton's not able to do it, but Beaver Falls a little bit better at getting things done. That's why it's 8-0, and they're going to get the ball back.
Hopple back to return. The kick is up, and it is away, and it is short, and he takes it at the 49, makes a couple of men miss, and able to get to the 46-yard line, but there's a flag coming in. It's in the position of holding.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hit that was bad. Holding could be it.
Unless they're going to call catch interference, because he was awfully close.
He could be. There were people all around him. He caught the ball and moved, so I didn't see any.
Tank's vote is blocking the back.
Okay.
They're going to continue to talk this thing over for a little bit longer at the 50-yard line.
Blocking the back is probably a good idea. Hold is another one.
There you go. They're going to back it back 10 yards from the 50, so now it's Beaver Falls football back at the 40-yard line. Still really good field position, and they've had great field position throughout the course of this evening.
They have, and it brings them back a little bit to the 40-yard line. And, you know, with 5 minutes and 41 seconds to go, if they do what they've done the first 2 possessions, they can run this clock out, and whether they score or not, they don't give New Brighton the ball back. But if they score here and go up 2 touchdowns, with New Brighton only having the ball 3 times this half,
right?
You figure they're going to get it maybe 3 times next half. It's going to be really tough for New Brighton to come back from unless the game changes.
Yes.
But I don't see any indications of that.
Snap back, Xavier Clark over that left side trying to find some room a little bit. He continues to run, makes some men miss, and he's out to the 49-yard line. What looked like a pickup of maybe 3, a quick little cut to the right, and he picks up what looks to be 8 or 9 now.
Well, he's fearless. When you get a kid, again, I think he's bigger than what they listed him. Don't forget, you probably took physicals in the summer. I mean, when you got a kid that's small like that quick, and that fearless going through big linemen, linebackers, he's tough. You pointed it out. He's tough to hit. But he's getting 7-8 yards a clip, Robert. That's really good football. And you're just moving the sticks, keeping it going. He's making it easy on the linemen on 2nd and 3rd down now, and making it easy on his other backs.
They have 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Xavier Clark talking things over with Christian Dawkins. Here comes a flag, motion against Beaver Falls. They'll back them up. That could be a costly penalty.
Could be. I like the sportsmanship there by number 7 for New Brighton, Jamarcus Morris, picking up the flag and handing it to the referee.
Very polite,
Good
very
job,
courteous.
young man. Good job. You know, a lot of people.
This drive could be so important because if Beaver Falls scores, they deferred.
Yeah.
So they could then get the ball back and then go up with 2 scores back-to-back like that.
And then I think the game's over.
Touches the ball.
And that's what I think some teams do. Let's let our defense do it. Then let's do what we do. And then we'll have a big advantage in the second half. That's huge. Even if they don't score here.
Beaver Falls set. Here comes Xavier Clark. Slips and falls. He was off to the races. He had nothing but green in front of him, but he couldn't keep his traction, and he fell for what looks to be no gain.
When
so
you
now
have
a 3rd and long.
When you have that warmer autumn day, and then the sun goes down, and then the grass starts getting wet, this is what happens. We saw it last week. This is what happens in football.
I mean, they're playing on grass. I mean, there are some places we've gone to where they have field turf, but here it's still grass, and because of that, you have the natural dew process, and then you have the unevenness. It's difficult to have your footing. We saw a defensive player fall down in the Elwood City game where it wasn't a busted coverage. It was just because of the slip. Quick dump out to Kenny Jewell. Jewell has a first down and a whole lot more, breaking it down the sideline. He's down to the 35 for Beaver Falls. 1st and 10 for Beaver Falls.
Nice.
Kenny Jewell, he doesn't touch the ball much, but when he does, he rattles off plays like that.
In the open, and then he went another 10 yards after catch, yak yards. It was like a bulldozer. He bounced off 2 or 3 guys. New Brighton, their tackling right now isn't there. They're trying to tackle these guys up high. When a guy is running at you, unless you are super strong, and it's really tough to take a guy down with shoulder tackles, you got to get him below the waist, and they're not tackling properly. Thus, Beaver Falls in business.
Beaver Falls likes to continue to spread everybody out. Xavier Clark coming over this right side following Christian Dawkins. He has a lane and a big pickup on first down. He got 8 on that play. The running clock continues. We're down around 2:45 in a running clock here before halftime. It's now 2nd and 2. The ball is set up at the 38-yard line. They have to get to the 36.
And I think they have 2 timeouts left. Don't know. Can't tell on this clock. But you got to figure they're wasting a lot of time here, and they really can't afford to do that. Don't waste too much time if you want to score.
Still 2:20 to go. Xavier Clark, shotgun. Running backs on both sides. Hands it off to Christian Dawkins over that right side. He has the same. He gets a first down pickup inside the 25-yard line down. Yeah, they'll call him down at the 25. So it's 1st and 10 at the 25. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and 5 seconds, actually, at this point. And they are taking their time. I think it's one of those ones to where you have a couple of timeouts if you need them.
Yes.
You can use them. But at the same time, if things don't go the way you want them to,
you don't let the
want
other
to
team
leave
have
New Brighton
time.
with
But their defense has stopped them for the most part. This is a situation, if I'm the coach, you don't worry about what they're going to do. You worry about what you're going to do. You want to score here.
1:44. Xavier Clark hands it off to Kenny Jewell. He has a lot of room over that left side. Gets the seal block. He's off to the races. Can he get the corner to the end zone? No, he's rushed out of bounds, but he's inside the 10-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, I think New Brighton's in some trouble here. I really do. I mean, Beaver Falls has dominated this first half. They really have, except for a couple of nice plays by New Brighton. New Brighton had that one big defensive stance that didn't let them score the first time, but all 3 possessions, they've moved the ball easily downfield. And the line's been better. The running backs have been better. Everybody's been better. But New Brighton needs to go to the drawing board, I believe, because if they let them score here and they don't score, they're going to be in trouble in the second half.
1st and goal at the 4. Handoff. Nope. Xavier Clark decides to take it himself. He gets in close, but he's short.
But they rely on him a lot. He's, 75% of this offense? We've seen this is completely different than what they had in the beginning of the year. Again, beginning of the year, we saw a lot of running from Dawkins, and then Dawkins got hurt in the second half, but he was the main guy in the first half of the game we saw. But Xavier Clark has really gotten better.
Yeah, you look at the stats now, and Xavier Clark is the leading rusher on
he's
total
the focus
yards
of this
and
offense.
carries. Under center, hands it off to Sellers. Sellers trying to get the push, not able to get to the end zone. He's down inside the 1. We're now under 52 seconds to go until halftime. It is now 3rd and 1. And what does Beaver Falls do? They call timeout. They want to think about this. with 43 seconds left.
You know, I mean, yeah. At this point, really, you know, use your timeouts because you don't worry about what New Brighton's going to do. You've dominated them on offense. You really have. Their line's done better, except for that. Now, New Brighton's done well inside the 10-yard line when people are trying to run up the middle on them. But here's a situation. They're going to draw something up different than just run up the middle. They've got 3 yards to go. I really believe that if they score here, they get the ball back. New Brighton has to find a way to get the ball back and not let them score. If they get down 21-0, or 3 scores early in the second half with the way Beaver Falls holds on the ball when they have it, and New Brighton's going to have to go to the drawing board. It's just right now Beaver Falls is the better team. But we still have a whole half of football to go.
This would be a perfect time to dial up where everybody's in tight. You fake the handoff, and then you just roll out to the one side and then almost walk your way in because everybody's going to be collapsing if you decide to go with that full house backfield one more time.
Just so everybody knows, Tank's going to have an interview with Jim Mooney at halftime. He's already over on the Beaver Falls sideline.
Something else that Jim Mooney mentioned to me earlier today.
I don't want to talk to Tank.
He wants to talk first. He wants to have an interview before halftime, and he's yet to have one.
Yeah, but if he's losing, he can't.
Xavier Clark, shotgun, decides to keep it, follows Dawkins, touchdown, Xavier Clark. So 1 touchdown for Xavier Clark, 1 touchdown for Isaiah Sellers, and it is the Clark show here in New Brighton as now they are up 14-0, and you got to believe they're going to go for 2 and to try to make this 16-0 going in the half.
You asked me before the game, CCBC player of the game, and I said their skill players have to outplay their skill players, and that's the guy I mentioned. I mentioned Clark and Joel, but, man, Clark is the guy. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Their coaching staff knows how good he is, and that kid has got a chance to be really special in the next 3 years after this. He's already special. He could be one of the best guys coming out of Beaver County in the next few years.
Xavier Clark under center decides to roll out this time, throws it, and incomplete into the end zone. And so Beaver Falls up 14-0. 39.3 seconds to go until halftime. We'll have the kickoff in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Patriot Home Care is now hiring caregivers. Are you a caring and compassionate individual looking for a reliable income with benefits? Then call Patriot Home Care today. Benefits include health insurance, life insurance, paid vacation after 1 year, and 1.5 times hourly pay for overtime plus holiday hours. Patriot Home Care employees provide personal care, conversation and companionship, medication reminders, light housekeeping and laundry, meal preparation, and errands. Start your career in home care today and call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or apply online at patriothomecare.org.
Team.
And they're just going to get better because he loves his freshman class too.
2 years ago.
And we are back 14-0. Beaver Falls on top of New Brighton with less than 40 seconds left, and it's been the Beaver Falls show. Xavier Clark putting on a clinic so far at the quarterback position.
Just smart football. They're very good. I think in the beginning of the year, if you'd have told people this team's going to be in second place, if Riverside loses, they'll be in second place by themselves. If they win, people would have said, you're crazy, Mike, but this team, Jim Mooney and his staff have improved them. You've talked about it. You mentioned the new offensive coordinator. This is a different, big-time different team than last year.
Beck and a kick. It was a very, very short kick. They were trying to be able to cover it.
Interesting.
But it was covered by number 11 for New Brighton. Joseph Kennedy was able to get on it. So now New Brighton has it with really good field position at the 41. I think Mooney was thinking, listen, if we can get the ball here, we might be able to score again. And
maybe
then get
so,
the ball back.
But now,
there's a risk reward.
There's New Brighton with the ball, and you get a couple pass plays, you get a couple of first downs, quick outs. Mm-hmm. You might be able to get a realistic shot or two at the end zone. It depends on how they manage the clock here.
So first down and 10 at the 41-yard line. The ball set up right between the hash marks. 4 wide receivers, 2 and 2. And now Carter Jackson with the man on his left hip. Back to pass, looking to his left, has a man, and caught. And here come the flags. Unnecessary roughness against Christian Dawkins on that one.
A little bit too physical. I mean, Tank has been texting me from the sideline. He's talking about how physical things are going and down there. And, you got them, you tackle them, and then you throw them down. And we've seen a couple plays like that go unpenalized. Not smart. You're up 2 touchdowns. Why let them have a shot now? With unsportsmanlike conduct, you're going to make it easier for them to maybe get some points.
Now you're all the way – Brighton is now all the way down inside the 39-yard line. Inside the 40 now of Beaver Falls. They're going to mark it at the 39, so now it's 1st and 10 for New Brighton. They were looking for a spark, and they just got it from one of the stars of Beaver Falls on the defense. And now, here we go, Carter Jackson. Back the pass, looking to his left once again. Pressure's coming, throws it, has a man open in the corner, and in and out of his hands. It was close. He threw an absolutely beautiful ball in the corner, and it looks as though there's a flag in the end zone. And what are they going to call?
Is it offense or is it defense? They're going to discuss it.
They're talking it over. Referee having a conversation with
Beaver Falls
one of the
moving
back
backwards. I don't see New Brighton moving forward.
Pass interference.
Yep.
Beaver Falls, another big pickup for New Brighton.
You dominate them in this first half. You're outplaying them, and you give them 40 seconds on the clock, and 2 big penalties are costing you big time, and now you give them an opportunity. That is not smart football. We're talking how good Beaver Falls is playing, and now here you go. New Brighton has a shot now.
Yeah, that bug that Mooney was talking about before, you got to the turnovers. You have to control turnovers and this issue of penalties.
I agree.
Where you had New Brighton stuck back in their own territory, feeling really good about the way your defense is playing, and your defense is playing well when it comes to stopping them from moving the ball on their own. But now the defense has given up 30 big yards to New Brighton.
Exactly. And again, you got to remember, and I know you know this and I know this, but these are young kids. These are 16, 17, 17-year-old kids. And they're making mistakes. And there's a lot of emotion out there. They know their parents, the crowd. They know everybody's here. So there is some emotion, and you do make mistakes. They're not pros. When you're pros in college, you're making dumb plays like that. Here in high school, we really can't criticize them. But, boy, you got to think. You got to know, and the coaching staff's got to pull them guys together and say, hey, guys, come on. You got to think. You got the lead. You want to win. We're on their field. Let's not bring them back into the game.
That's right.
They score here. You bring them right back into it where you've dominated them. And they got at least, with 21 seconds, you probably at the minimum 2 shots at the end zone, maybe 3, if you manage the clock right.
So now New Brighton lining themselves up. Carter Jackson. 4 wide receivers go out. JoJo Montanez on his left hip. Coverage is set. Deep safeties. Back to pass. Looking. Pressure's coming. He has a lot of room to his right side to run if he wants to. Decides to come back. Wants to throw the ball. Throws it away. He had a great pickup of a good 10, 15 yards if he decided to run. But instead he wanted to stay behind the line of scrimmage to be able to throw that. But it looked as though he may have crossed the line of scrimmage in the first place.
10 seconds went off the clock. 2 things. Number 1, I had a feeling Beaver Falls was going to come after him. They did. Defensive coordinator said, let's go after him. They did. They pressured him. When he got around the end, there was all kind of room. As you point out, he could have probably got a first down and got out of bounds, probably inside the 10, and still had about 14 seconds on the clock. Now, they're still where they're at with 11 seconds. Maybe 2 shots at the end zone, maybe.
Carter Jackson back to pass, looking to his left. Here comes the pressure. Throws to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone. He's running it out to the 10, to the 15, taken down at the 15-yard line. Big time interception by the defensive back for Beaver Falls. That was all Hopple on that one. Zykel Hopple, the 5'7", 130-pound junior, ending the half for New Brighton. We now go down to the sidelines here. Tank Latham trying to get Coach Mooney. What an emotional turn of events in these past couple of plays in this last drive. 2 huge penalties that put New Brighton in position to be able to score, and then the interception in the end zone. And we're going to go to Tank right now. He has Coach Jim Mooney. Tank?
Hey, I'm down here with Coach Mooney. Hey, you said you wanted to be first. Yeah. Here we are, baby, right here.
Damn, took long enough for sure.
Hey, man, you guys are dominating offensively and defensively on the line. All right, talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, we're playing good football right now. It's, Joey running the ball is doing a great job. Christian Kenny both making big plays. Isaiah Sellers from out of nowhere driving a couple in for us. Couldn't be more proud of the line right now, man. They're doing exactly what we asked them to do. And defensively, again, man, it's another great showing so far. These guys got some speed. That Lewis kid is tough as nails. And getting to the football, it's been a lot of fun so far. Still feel like we might be putting one together. Really excited about watching us put one together. A whole game is going to be great.
Yeah, you guys got a couple of mental mistakes here and there, shooting yourselves in the foot. But I think you made up for it though in the end zone here.
These damn penalties are killing me. But I told the kids penalties are one thing, and like we talked about earlier, pre-snap is one thing, but it's the aggressive penalties. I'll take aggressive penalties all day long, and right now that's what we're making. A couple pre-snap penalties that are always painful. But, the hit over there by Dawkins, that's sending messages, man. These kids are ready to play football. I had to hold them back in the locker room before the game. Really, it's just like right now, it's just a great effort all the way around. So, this is fun, man.
It is fun. Hey, it's Jug Week, baby. Let's go talk it.
I tell you what, Tank and Coach Mooney, you guys did a great job of continuing the interview and then keeping from having the tuba section just absolutely wipe them out.
I thought if the tuba runs in the tank, I think the tuba wins. I don't know, though.
It depends on where the tuba hits them.
It
depends on where it hits him.
You got to see the photo of Tank when he was in high school. He
was.
I think he earned that nickname when did you see it?
I did see that. He looked
Mohawk.
Mean. He was vicious looking.
Class president. Man, this guy. Every time I talk to him, he's got more and more things on the resume.
L's Pizza halftime show is on. We'll come back with it coming up in just 3 minutes. 14-0 Beaver Falls on New Brighton on Beaver County Radio.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall in love, that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Attention seniors! Did you know that by being a part of Silver Sneakers, you can receive a Beaver County YMCA membership for no additional cost? More than 16 million Medicare members have access to the Silver Sneakers program. Just give our member service representatives a call, and we'll take care of the rest. For more information, give us a call at 724-891-8439. Again, that's 724-891-8439.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearms store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
We are at halftime, 14-0. New Brighton trailing Beaver Falls here at home. And this is a great rivalry. New Brighton not liking Beaver Falls not liking New Brighton. But there is a unifying force here in the broadcast booth, and it's State Representative Roman Kovac. And you represent both of these districts, right?
I do. I represent both Beaver Falls and New Brighton. And
so are you on this half of the field for the first half, and do you have to go? Is it like the President and the Army-Navy game? Do you have to go to the other side now?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. My wife's entire family is sitting just below the booth here. They are crimson and gold, and New Brighton they're New Brighton through and through. So I do sit on the New Brighton side, and my nephew's on the field tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah, he's great. He's a defensive end, Dominic Pasquale. Very strong.
He's been playing well tonight, too.
He has been playing very well tonight.
So what's it like being able to be at a game like this? It's just there's something fascinating and really inspiring about the fans being full on both sides, and then you have fans that are lining the fences all the way around. Everybody in this area wants to be a part of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's Western Pennsylvania, right? And this is the highlight of it, the Jug game, right? A big rivalry here. And it's neat because there's Beaver Falls and New Brighton alumni on both sides of the field, both sides of the ball as far as coaching goes, and in the stands as well. And I've got really good friends who have kids on Beaver Falls team and family here on the New Brighton side. So it's divided loyalties at times, but we love it.
Let me ask you, how important do you think it is, being a state rep and representing these communities, to have sports in high schools and being a function of bringing people to the school and a community together? Because this is something special when you can pack the stands. A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of school boards and people don't think athletics is important. How do you feel about that?
I mean, sports is just, it's more than just a game, but there's so much to learn for these kids about life lessons in sports. I played high school sports, played a little bit in college, not football, but man, I'll tell you what they get to learn here is wonderful and on the field. And the community itself with all the people here, it's a unifying thing. The politics set aside, I don't like talking about politics during sports games.
Right, we're not.
And that's,
I get that. And what I was going to say is we recently, earlier in the year, at Western Beaver, they had an initiative. They got lights for the school. Is there anything you think in the future for New Brighton, Beaver Falls area that might improve the area, whether it's sports or whether it's anything that you see coming?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we can talk about. I know both Beaver Falls and New Brighton have initiatives that they want, not only for their programs athletically, but also just in the community. So there's things we work on right now. I'm new to this role. I've been here 9 months, learning a lot, getting to continue to meet more and more people. And, when they come to me and ask me for specific things, I'm always there to try to help and support them.
Good. Good job.
When you look at a program like this, I mean, it's not just the guys who are suiting up to play football, the 25, 30 guys that play football. It's also the bands that are a part of this. So you have dozens of kids that are involved in the bands, and then you got the cheerleaders and the booster programs and everything. This is something that the entire school can rally around, and then the entire community can rally around as well, whether you're playing a game here at New Brighton or Beaver Falls, right?
Yeah, the band is something. I played some musical instruments as well back in the day, not in the marching band, but it's neat because, it seems like every person you sit next to in the stands, they either have a son on the field or a son or daughter out there in the band, and it's great. I mean, it's interesting
what musical instruments make it into the band now. I mean, when I was in school back in the 80s, I mean, you had the basic stuff that was in the marching band. Now you've got all the keyboards, you got xylophones out there, you got
electric guitar.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to do like an Eddie Van Halen or something.
That would be awesome. I'm all for it.
That would be fun.
I would love that. Maybe some crowd surfing, maybe some people jumping off there.
Why not, right?
Oh, Tank wants to do it.
No, we don't want Tank doing that.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course. Thank you guys
appreciate
for having me.
Hey, good luck.
And all the best to the family.
Good luck with everything you do, and good luck and with the community. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot and do a good job.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. And Friday Night Football, it's what it's all about here in Western PA.
There you go. Thank you very much, sir. Do appreciate you coming by and stopping. Once again, it's 14-0.
Thanks.
Beaver Falls on top of New Brighton here at New Brighton. More of the Al's Pizza halftime show coming up in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Hey you, looking to finally wrap up that big project but can't find that last tool you need to get the job done? Go to D&G Rentals. D&G Rentals of Beaver Falls is the multi-tool of Northwest Pittsburgh in finding equipment rentals of all kinds. Whether it's renting a straight head grinder for a week or a circular saw for a few hours, D&G has you covered with everything you need for bargain prices. Visit D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls today and indulge in the most complete equipment rental store Northwest Pittsburgh has to offer.
Lace up your cleats and rush on over to Zuki Sports Tavern. From their award-winning wings to their wide selection of ice-cold beverages, Zuki's is the place to go to watch your favorite team. Zuki's also has a plethora of salads, wraps, burgers, appetizers, and more. Don't want to leave and miss the action? Order online at Zukis.com/order. So what are you waiting for? Visit Zuki Sports Tavern in Falston today. Zuki Sports Tavern, big screens, bigger flavor. Stop by today and make your game day count.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-Free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
J. Young Refuse and Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 36 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. J. Young Refuse offers both commercial and residential pickup as well. Call J. Young Refuse at 724-495-6199 today.
One of the greatest honors a person can receive is to be gathered with their people at the time of their passing. Even biblical authors, when they wanted to explain what it meant to have lived a great, prosperous, and meaningful life, spoke of the individual as having lived a long time and being gathered with friends and relatives near as they closed out their twilight years. Being gathered together with loved ones is something that the J&J Spratt Funeral Home takes very seriously as well. The comfort both given and received cannot be underestimated. J&J Spratt Funeral Home also knows that the honor shown to a loved one at their time of need in this manner is still the right thing to do today. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has been gathering together with area families for 4 generations and looks forward to honoring future residents deserving of being gathered together with friends and family. Click jjspratfh.com.
You're tuned in to 2025 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game is being brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the cornerstone of Beaver County, Zuki's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio.
We are back. It's halftime. The Al's Pizza halftime show is on in New Brighton as the Lions are trailing the Tigers 14-0. And it's been all about the Tigers so far this evening. Let's take a look at the Fry Transportation Update Desk and get the latest in scores. And here's what we have. I'm showing scoreless at halftime with Montour and Ambridge. What are you showing?
Tank told us it was Montour 7, Ambridge nothing early in the late in the first quarter.
Okay, 14-10, Aliquippa beating Blackhawk at halftime.
Man,
that's a surprise.
I'll
It's
tell
that
you
close,
what,
isn't it?
Having them be that close at halftime, to me, is big. I mean, Blackhawk, I'm not a little surprised at that game, to be honest with you.
No?
I'm very surprised
you are. Yes.
At Blackhawk being that close to Aliquippa.
Hopewell and Freeport. That's a close game, 14-7 at the half.
Freeport's a good team. Hopewell needs a win in their pocket before they have their final 2 big games of the year coming up.
Southside up by 2 touchdowns on the Shannock.
That's big because now that means they can take control of the section, and then their game against Laurel next week becomes huge.
The Rochester year continues to be a disappointment. They are trailing Cornell. It looks as 20-0 at halftime.
Yeah, Rochester, I feel bad for those kids. There's going to be some changes in that program after this year.
The Moon Tigers, it's almost an off week for Moon.
Yeah, they're playing
because
Baldwin.
They play Baldwin, and they're up 30-0 before halftime.
Baldwin's probably going to go. I think they're already decided to go independent next year. Pretty sure they did.
21-0 Central Valley on top of Quaker Valley.
No surprise there.
That's still in the first quarter. And still waiting for some other scores on
Freedom
my
is up on Union 14-0.
All right, and also a big game, Elwood City and Riverside. Let's check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. Get the latest from him. You can find out more by going to boompowsolar.net.
Mangino with 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Touchdown run, 6 yards out. Ricky Corton scores. Extra point, no good. 12-0 heading into the second as the Wolverines are playing smash mouth football early. In the second quarter, Riverside running down the field deep into Elwood territory as the Panthers come up short on 4th down as the Wolverines take over at their 26-yard line. On 4th down, Elwood goes for it and gets a first down as they're controlling the game. Pass interference as Elwood City gains as on the Panthers side again on the other side of the field. With 5 minutes left in the second quarter, Alex Jackson makes a big sack, forcing a 4th down and 16 yards to go as the Panthers hanging in there as they get another sack and take over with 4:16 left in the second. Panthers with a fresh set of downs with 4:16 left in the second, though, trying to get on the board. But Drake Davis to the rescue. Fumble recovery as Elwood looking for another touchdown deep in the territory. With 3:02 left in the second, Smiley pass 25 yards to number 0, Dalen Curie for a second touchdown. 2 points, no good. 18-0. Elwood over Riverside, crosstown rivals. Lots of drop balls on both sides of the ball here for the Panthers today. With 50 seconds left, Dominic DiNucci interception returns 30 yards. 1st and 10 from the 19 with 49 seconds left. Another touchdown pass, 20 yards. Miley to Cam Hockenberry. 2 points good, 26-0 right now. Wolverines, I should say, on a beatdown. Hey, listen, I'm Joe Martichek, Boom Pow DIY Solar. I'm A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. I'm saving people a fortune on their electricity bill. It's 26-0 right now, 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Last week, I saved one of my customers over $100,000 on energy costs. Call me toll-free at 1-844-BOOM-POW. Back to my great colleagues, Mike and Mangino. 26-0 right now, Elwood City on top.
All right, we're back at halftime, the Alice Pizza halftime show. Mike, let's go back and look at this first half. And it really was all Beaver Falls practically from the get-go.
Yeah. I mean, New Brighton had the ball first, and they have that swing pass, and they look like they're going to get about 20 yards on the play. A fumble. They have one play. Beaver Falls marches a long time, takes a lot of time off the clock, but New Brighton has a great defensive stance, 0-0 at the end of the quarter. New Brighton gets the ball back, but ends up turning it over on downs into the second quarter. Then New Beaver Falls marches down, and they score a 5-yard Isaiah Sellers touchdown. 2-point conversion was good. It's up 8-0. New Brighton has to punt. They don't move the ball at all, and then Beaver Falls does the same thing. They march it down and eventually score after a long drive, a 3-yard Xavier Clark run, and 2-point was missed. It was 14-0, and then a couple of penalties by Beaver Falls at the end of the first half. And New Brighton had a chance, but they threw an interception in the end zone. But I'd say a dominant performance by Beaver Falls. We knew they're a good skill team. Mm-hmm. We knew they're good on the offensive line. You know, before the game, we talked about off the air who we thought was the better team. I kind of felt Beaver Falls in this really good position, but the way they've been playing, they've kind of proved it. On the line, at the skill positions, other than some penalties, they've not made many mistakes. New Brighton's got the work cut out for them, and Beaver Falls has the ball first in the second half. So New Brighton really needs.
Yeah, those two bookend turnovers, one at the beginning and one at the end. Tank Latham down on the sideline. We're hoping to be able to get him to have a conversation with Coach John McCouga of the New Brighton Lions. Tank? Tank, I think your microphone might be off. We'll come back to Tank in a moment. This is a critically important drive for Beaver Falls. If they're able to score here, and so critically important for New Brighton to be able to get a stop. Let's see if we can go back down the Tank. And we're going to scratch that. Okay, he's going to go ahead and talk to Coach McCouga. We'll check in with him and what McCouga said to his players at halftime, because you really got to rally the troops at this point.
Yeah.
You got to feel at this time, if you're Coach McCouga, what are you saying to your guys that you can build off of from that first half?
Well, I'm telling them, hey, look, you move the ball at times, but you have to be more consistent. You have to be really consistent. You've got to be able to get first downs. The passing game was close, and just keep working. You can't give up. And defensively, you got to put a helmet on these guys. You got to get them down low, and you can't arm tackle and can't tackle up high. They're going to have to be the better team physically in the second half if they want to win this one.
Yeah, they're going to have to find somebody, too, that they can spy on Xavier Clark. Well, you get somebody like a JoJo Montanez that's fast, that is able to cut through and break through some lines to be able to get through some blockers. But he is such a threat, and what he can do, whatever he wants to do, it's really difficult to stop him. And they're running this offense to where it's practically a wildcat as often as they want to run it, because he doesn't throw a lot, but when he does throw,
that's right,
they're meaningful throws. But because it's a virtual wildcat, he's not just faking a handoff. He's now having that fake handoff guy who went through the line become his lead blocker, and oftentimes he's just following Dawkins right through that same hole.
He is, and he's been a big part of this game, and this is huge for New Brighton. I mean, if they don't stop Beaver Falls here and they go down 3 touchdowns, the fact they had the ball only 4 times and one of them was under 40 seconds, Beaver Falls could. If they score here and just play some good defense, they might win this game easily. And this is I don't want to say a season-defining drive, but defensively they've got to stop them here, because if they don't, I think it's going to deflate them. It's going to deflate the crowd, and it's really important.
Carter Jackson is set to kick off. Beaver Falls with 3 men deep. Derek Beck, Keshawn Jameson, and Zykel Hoppel. That was the one who intercepted that pass in the end zone to bring that drive to a halt after 2 big 15-yard penalties by Beaver Falls. And now they're waiting for the officials to go ahead and give them the clearance. It seems as though everybody's ready. Referees are ready. Hand signals back and forth. The whistle is blown, and now the kickoff. It is low line drive taken by one of the upmen at the 38-yard line. Isaiah Sellers has it up over the 45 to about the 46.
See, I mean, I get that in a way, but you just gave maybe 20 yards away easily, maybe more. If you might not have the ability to kick deep, and I know you don't want to kick it to a deep guy with speed, but, man, they've got the ball at the 46-yard line, Robert, and the way this team has run the ball, that's very good field position.
Xavier Clark with Christian Dawkins on his left hip. Kenny Jewell is up in the fullback position, up near the line of scrimmage on that same side. Xavier Clark runs over that side and is able to pick up what looks to be about 5 yards on the play. And they ran up over their left guard and tackle, Lucas McDowell and Terrence Banks.
More of the same. They're not going to change their game plan until you can stop them. They're going to grind this clock down. They're going to grind it down. They're going to run the same plays. I doubt they throw the ball unless they have to. It's going to take time off the clock, try to score, and try to, for them, in their mind, put this game away.
Yeah, New Brighton has a really big defensive line. I mean, they have guys that you would think would be able to clog up the run, but Beaver Falls able to move them around and play leverage with them. Xavier Clark has it. And he dives up over that left side one more time, up near first down yardage. It looks as though he's going to have that first down. He needed 4. They'll give it to him, and now 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of New Brighton.
From my seat here in the press box, I was right there equal with the line of scrimmage. And every single lineman from Beaver Falls pushed every single lineman from New Brighton down the field by 4 yards. When you're doing that consistently like this, it's first down after first down after first down. If you don't turn the ball over, you hold on to it, there's a first down, and the sticks move, and now the referees are getting together, and I don't know what that could be about.
Not quite sure what they're talking about either. But the referee wanted to bring in both line judges, and now the powwow is over, and he's waving the play back into action again.
And you're going to get a chance now because you're right on the line now, pretty much.
Yes.
And watch the linemen. I know you have to watch the ball, but watch the linemen if they run again. Just watch what the linemen do. More than one, it's 3 or 4 guys downfield easily each time for Beaver Falls.
Xavier Clark with Christian Dawkins, and he hands it off. Christian Dawkins over this right side, makes one man miss and taken down by Heath Lewis inside the 40-yard line. Pickup of what looks to be about 5 on first down.
Strength versus strength, and the strength of Beaver Falls line again. They push, he gets outside right, gets one block, and then he jumps, and he gets, 5 yards maybe? Yeah, 5. We'll take that on first down every time. That's it. First down plays for Beaver Falls have been tremendous.
So 2nd and 5 here for Beaver Falls. They continue to move the ball seemingly at will on the ground. And whatever blocking scheme they go with, as Tank had mentioned earlier, it doesn't seem to make a difference. New Brighton doesn't have an answer yet. Xavier Clark has it. They're going to go over that left side, try to get outside. This time they're able to stop them. That was a big stop. Khalil Castaneda coming off his defensive end position, able to get the stop, but there's a flag on the play back at the original line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line.
But that's a good call. I mean, one of the linemen, he's on the ground, and he managed to trip up Clark. Good play for maybe a gain of 1, if that. But I think this is going against Beaver Falls.
Holding against Beaver Falls. That will back them up a good 10 yards. Now, the big question is that are they going to call it a spot foul, or are they just going to mark it off from the line of scrimmage? And that was at the...
Well, if it was at the line of... either way, the line of scrimmage and the spot of where it was at, where it happened, was right there. So
yeah, so they'll back them back to the 46-yard...
No,
they're going to go back to the 49-yard line.
So it must have happened at the...
And now they're setting up a second down here.
So it must have happened where he got tackled or near where he got tackled.
2nd and 14. Beaver Falls comes out, 3 wide receivers, 1 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Don't forget you can watch this game on Facebook and on YouTube. Man in motion, and Kenny Jewell out over that left side, makes one man miss, makes a couple more miss, and finally taken down inside the 40-yard line. He gets all of that yardage back from the holding penalty and sets up a very manageable 3rd down.
And you got to think about this, too, and we didn't talk about this in pregame and halftime. New Brighton went into Beaver Falls and beat them last year, and that hasn't happened in a lot of years. And all these kids were on the Beaver Falls. Well, most of them were on that team last year that struggled, and a lot of those kids, some of the younger kids, had some success in the playoffs, but they don't want to lose to their rival on their home field. So they got a chip on their shoulder here tonight.
Here we go, 3rd, and they're going to call it 7. Dawkins on Xavier Clark's left hip. He rolls, throws, has a man inside the 40-yard line, and no more than that. Heath Lewis out on coverage and able to drive him out of bounds, so it sets up a 4th down and what looks to be about 5 yards, depending upon where they officially spotted across the other side of the field.
Interesting play call, and gained maybe, I don't think even gained a yard. He might have lost a yard. To be honest with you, it wasn't well executed, wasn't well blocked, which most of their plays have been. So that's one of the few times they haven't executed well. But now here's a chance for New Brighton. Stop them. You're still only down 2 scores. Big, big play here if you're New Brighton's defense.
8:24 to go in the third quarter. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Clark with running backs on either side. Shotgun formation gets New Brighton to jump. Gives them a free 5. Offsides against New Brighton. So it goes from a 4th and 6 to a 4th and 1. Talk about an untimely penalty
for New Brighton. Huge penalty for New Brighton. Boy, I got to tell you. That's one of those things where, man, that, 4th and 6, I mean, that's 5 yards. That's a big, big, big penalty. You go here, it continues to drive. If they end up scoring, that's the difference between you coming back in this game. Boy, New Brighton couldn't afford that.
Tank sending up a text, and he's right. Every time we've covered Beaver Falls, Xavier Clark gets the defense to jump at least once, and that was a big one there. Clark decides to call his own number, trying to get the first down pickup. They're going to give it to him by what looks to be about a yard, so he gets the first down. So it was a really difficult drive with that holding penalty, driving the back, but he was able to get a free 5 on getting the defense to jump and then gets enough for a first.
How about you called it back when we saw them against Western Beaver? You said he's a good game manager. He managed to call them offsides a couple of times. So for a freshman, that is another good sign. In addition to his speed, his athleticism, his cutting ability, there's a lot of things to like about him, but being a game manager as a freshman, pretty solid.
And he's set in the shotgun formation. Running backs to either side, and now a penalty. This time it's motion against Beaver Falls. So New Brighton gave them 5, and now Beaver Falls gives them back the 5. But a 1st and 15 is much more to your advantage than a 4th and 1. I mean, the way Beaver Falls was moving, 1st and 15 isn't that far for them.
It's not. And plus, look how much time they're taking off this clock. It's just eating away if you're New Brighton.
7:45, handoff. Christian Dawkins over the right side, back to the original line of scrimmage, and finally pushed back the swarm of defenders. He gets to just inside the 35-yard line, and then they push him all back. So he's still short of the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 2nd and 12.
You know what? I mean, New Brighton does come up with some big plays on defense, but not enough of them to get the ball back quickly. Again, time just tick, tick, tick off the clock. And, I'm not going to say New Brighton's playoff hopes are dashed, but it's going to make it harder for them. They're going to need probably at least 1, maybe 2 wins in the next 2 weeks.
Beaver Falls up 14-0. Takes the ball, hands off to Kenny Drilch. Kenny Drilch trying to get outside. He did not. That was a big-time stop. Jojo Montanez usually only plays on one side, but he came over and he's playing on defense. You got to put the talent out there.
Yes, you do.
And he was able to get a stop for a loss. So now it's 3rd and long, and now you have Beaver Falls where you want them because Beaver Falls is just not built to convert 3rd and 15.
Usually not. You're right. I mean, their pass plays have been short. He's not a down-the-field passer yet, but that's a big play for them. So but they got two plays to get 14 yards.
Back to pass, scrambling, making a man miss, completes it to Kenny Jewell inside the 30-yard line, but he's still going to be short by about 6 yards. So it's a 4th and 6 from the 29-yard line.
That's manageable now. So now it's manageable. You do the same thing again, you get a first down. But that's okay if you're Beaver Falls, because even if you don't make this, New Brighton's stuck not real deep in their own territory, but deep enough. And with their offense, they haven't scored quickly, and they haven't been able to move the ball and get more than 1 or 2 first downs in a drive.
This will be interesting. New Brighton, I'm sure they're being coached up. Do not jump. He's going to try to get you to jump. Don't jump.
Yeah. Good point.
Does that then mean that they're going to be slow to come off the ball?
Possibly.
If it's the correct count and you get them to.
I think we got
and
a
now there's
timeout.
going to be a timeout. Mooney wants to think this one through. 4th and 6, 5:25 to go in the third quarter. Beaver Falls is up 14-0 on New Brighton. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Let's go to Tank on the sidelines. And Tank, Beaver Falls fans, they came out in full force tonight, and I think I can hear them over here.
As I am on the Beaver Falls side for this half, and they're definitely very vocal over here. They brought, I think, the whole crowd this year, the whole city of Beaver Falls over here.
4th and 6, 5:25 to go. Xavier Clark, shotgun. Christian Dawkins on his left side. 3 wide receivers to the left side. He throws a deep man-on-man coverage, trying to connect with Kenny Jewell, and great defensive back play by New Brighton. What a performance there on that play, breaking things up and keeping that pass from being completed. That was just a heroic effort.
That was a nice play.
Marshawn Williams-Smith to be able to break out that play, because that was going for 6.
Yeah, they needed that, and that's a nice play. And they get the ball back, and they stay alive in this game. So very, very important. That's the first turnover on downs. No, I'm sorry. That's the second turnover on downs for Beaver Falls, first in this half.
Big drive for New Brighton. They've got to get a score here. Everybody's in tight. 1 wide receiver to the top. Jojo Montanez takes the handoff, tries to get outside. He does, and is able to get a nice pickup of about 8 yards on first down. Came from the wingback position in motion, took the handoff, followed 2 running backs, and was able to get the big yardage he needed on first down.
And he got some blocking. And so now, if you're a lineman, you're getting blocked, you're getting pushed around all night. Now it's your chance to do something if you're New Brighton and push back. Not as much running room, but they're going to need to methodically go down. Don't be surprised they mix a pass in here now and again.
It looks like it's a variation of Travel Pieces wing T from the south side. There he goes in motion once again. This time it's handed off to to Heath Lewis, and he's able to get a first down. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he just runs so hard.
Yep.
He will not be brought down, and he falls forward. He gets a first down for New Brighton.
Another thing is that this kind of offense is just, both of these teams have had the ball once this quarter, and the quarter's got 4:24 to go. Neither offense right now is designed to score quickly. So you have to score when you have the ball now.
1 wide receiver out to the far side at the top. Beaver Falls playing a single high safety. Wing T throws it, tries to get Jojo Montanez, and great coverage. And they're going to call a penalty. Wow.
That's tough.
Hoppel gets called on the penalty for pass interference.
See, you can't. Okay. When the ball's up in the air, I think why they call that is you can't prevent the receiver from getting to the ball. The ball, did he have a reasonable chance to catch it? It was over his head, but would he have had a chance if you don't get in his way? So, yeah, now that I think about it, you did stop him from getting to the ball, and that's a good call then.
Yeah, he put his forearm up and impeded the receiver's path to the football, and that's going to get a call. So
yeah,
now we're
that's
looking
not
at
a bad
first
call.
and 10 from the 44-yard line. New Brighton looking for another opportunity here. Can they cash in on a Beaver Falls defensive penalty? 1st and 10. Everybody's in tight. And now a handoff over this left side, and plowing his way forward all the way down near the 40-yard line, a pickup of 4. Got to give it up. Michael Cleckley II, the sophomore, running hard through a tackle by Amarian Easton, who had him at the line of scrimmage but just would not give up. And it took 2 or 3 more defenders to bring him down.
I tell you what, Jacob Jessamine hits you. Look out, man. That is a big kid. He's 300 pounds. I mean, he not only hit him, he took him down, and all of his weight went on him. That young man is a big, big kid.
Everybody in tight once again. Wing T formation without the fullback. Man in motion, hands it off to Jojo Montanez, trying to get outside around that right side, and then was hit by Christian Dawkins at the 40-yard line. He hit him high, and Amarian Easton hit him low, and he just collapsed upon contact.
No, has New Brighton completed a pass other than the first one of the game? I don't think they have.
I can't think of another one.
They've had the interception. They've had the incomplete passes. It's a lot of down the sideline patterns, and they're not completing them. They're going to have to complete some of these passes if they want to come back and win, because running this right here, it's going to take them forever to score unless they bust loose on one.
Shotgun formation, wide receivers broken out wide side each way. Back to pass, pressure's coming, back to pass, he's back to his own 40, finally dumps it off to Lewis at the 45, he has some room and plows through some defenders and gets close to first down yardage. There's a penalty flag on the play, far side at the 40, there's a penalty flag on the near side at the 33.
Wow, I mean, he went back probably 15 yards more than he wanted to. They chased him. He got away from it. And Lewis, smart enough to come back and help him out because he was up at the 35-yard line. He had to come back to almost the 45 to catch that ball and then get the yardage he did. If it's not for Lewis thinking, that play has no chance at all. Because it was almost where he had to turn. He looked right. There was nobody there. Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to throw the ball out of bounds, but Lewis came up.
And now the referees having a conversation about the penalties. Could they be offsetting penalties at this point? We'll find out about that in a moment. Let's check in with Tank on the sideline. Tank, observations that you have at this point of the game?
Well, for this particular play, I really feel this is going to be offensive lineman downfield for New Brighton. The whole right side of the offense was probably about 30 yards down the field before he threw the ball. But definitely seems like New Brighton has a plan to take on this Beaver Falls defense.
Wow, they just called a personal foul face mask penalty against Beaver Falls. Whatever flag was thrown because of linemen downfield, they ultimately decided to pick it up and not even consider that penalty.
Well,
and now Mooney is livid and wants to have a conversation with the referee. How do you just completely ignore this penalty over there that was on the Beaver Falls sideline?
I know. But you know what? As Tank pointed out a little while ago, there's penalties on every play. They're letting them play. But sometimes you have to call some obvious things, and certain personal fouls get called. Now, this is a situation where New Brighton, and there's going to be a timeout here, I believe. No, the referee's still not in position. New Brighton, this is an excellent. I mean, we're 2:28 left in the third quarter, a fast-moving third quarter. For them, with the penalties that Beaver Falls has, you have to capitalize. You have to if you want to win this game. I don't think they can not score here.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. New Brighton with their best field position of the night. Carter Jackson under center. Heath Lewis behind him, along with Michael Cleckley. Jojo Montanez in motion, 2 men in motion, and they're going to call a penalty? Yes, they do. And run out of bounds and tackled out of bounds. They had 2 men in motion at the snap, and it looks as though that's going to be the penalty against New Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit too much, and then it didn't work out well for them. Don't get too fancy. Go with what's good for you. They still might need to pass here inside the 16. Well, now it's going to knock them back.
1st and 10 now. They'll be back at the 21-yard line once they march them back 5. And now New Brighton, who's had their most success moving the ball, actually with Beaver Falls penalties. I mean, there have been penalties that have racked up to a good 75, 80 yards against Beaver Falls defense alone tonight. Snap back, rolling to his right, trying to find a receiver, has a man across the middle, and in and out of the hands of Sellers.
Wow. Man, I don't know if the receiver even was prepared for the ball to come to him. They sent one man to the right of the end zone. Someone else was midfield. I get why they're trying to pass here, because they realize that just small chunks of yardage aren't getting it done. But at the 21, this is important. Very important second down. Well,
interesting play. Heath Lewis is coming out to catch a breath. It is 2nd and 15 now.
And he's one of your main guys.
Yeah, Carter Jackson.
In these situations.
Breaking the huddle. What's the formation? They're going to go with 3 wide receivers to the far side at the top. One back, Montanez on his hip. Back to pass, looking for a pattern, throws it toward the end zone. Hits his receiver at the 10, makes a man miss, touchdown. Jackson Zahn, the senior, catches the pass in the flat. Rushes then after the catch for a good 10 yards. And now New Brighton gets their first points of the game with 1:41 to go in the third quarter.
I tell you what, Jackson Zahn, talked to him Wednesday night on Coach's Corner. Nice kid, good kid, wants to be an elementary school teacher, going for elementary education. May or may not play football, but boy, he made a big play there. They got the ball to him in the flat. He turned around. It looked like he might not have a chance for the end zone, but he made a cut, and he went right in. And that's a big, big touchdown. And that's a big, big play, and it keeps them alive in this game. Big on defense, leads the offense, and now we got a ball game, baby.
New Brighton going for 2. Everybody's in tight. Wing T formation. Quarterback keeps it, throws to the corner of the end zone. He made it. 2-point conversion is good, and now it's 14-8. 14-8. Beaver Falls up by 6. What a game we have here in New Brighton. We'll come back with more in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
It looks as though they waved off the reception in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And now Beaver Falls has an 8-point lead.
Yeah.
It's still 14-6. And that 2-point conversion miss can be huge.
Tank says it was out of the end zone. He caught it out of the end zone.
And so now the kickoff. Carter Jackson.
Now you got to play
Last
that
time
defense
he kicked
again.
it off short to one of the up men. And it's a short kick. Isaiah Sellers gets it once again. This time over the left side, has some room out to the 44-yard line. Another good starting field position move for Beaver Falls.
I don't get it. Are you hoping that they fumble it? I don't get it. I mean, I know you don't want to kick it to the guys in the back. I know that, but you are giving up possibly 20 to 25 yards to a team that has moved the ball down the field against you. I don't know.
And so now Beaver Falls has it. 1:35 to go in the third quarter. And a very important drive for New Brighton. There aren't many possessions left in this game. Maybe 2 per side going into the final quarter in 1:35 seconds. So New Brighton needs to be able to stop Beaver Falls, get the ball back, and get this game within a time. What they can't afford to do is allow Beaver Falls to move as they did in the first half. One of the things that New Brighton can take some comfort in is that they went into halftime trailing 14-0, and so far in this third quarter, they've been able to hold Beaver Falls and force them to 4 and out. So now, Xavier Clark, shotgun, as Dawkins on his right hip decided to keep it himself over this right side and then taken down immediately. He gets a yard maybe on that play. Big stop, and now a New Brighton Lion is down, and he's going to need some attention.
So one big thing now is that the crowd is back in the game for New Brighton. They were dead at the end of the first half, and now it's late third quarter, and your defense has played well. Your first possession, you stopped them from scoring, and you marched downfield. And Beaver Falls, yes, they did help you with the penalties, but you made some nice plays. So now the formula is you have to stop them. You have to. If they score, they're 2 touchdowns up again, and likely likely you don't get the ball back twice with enough time to score with the way your offense runs. But you stop them here, you march again, we're talking a whole different ball game. If you're looking ahead, Robert, if it does fall that way and New Brighton's momentum carries them, they're going to have to score and get a 2-point conversion to tie the game now. And then the possibility of overtime. I know that's thinking way ahead, but that does loom on the horizon if New Brighton gets the ball back and scores.
JoJo Montanez, the injured New Brighton Lion. And that is huge. He's been very important on offense and very important on defense. And now he is actually lying down on the sideline trying to get everything together. He just did not look as though he was feeling good. What specifically, you couldn't tell as he was walking off.
I believe he had an ankle injury earlier in the year, so hopefully that's not it again.
And now, Beaver Falls, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. Xavier Clark hands it off to Dawkins. And Dawkins up the middle, dragging a defender with him, and he gets close to a first down pickup, just shy.
Wow.
He needs to get to the 46.
That's first down.
And they're going to call it a first down.
I'm right on the line, buddy. That's it. I'm going to tell you right now, that might be the most important play of the game. Simply, they had him down maybe a yard. They couldn't bring him down. They're trying to tackle him by his shirt. He goes, gets a first down. The clock's running. That's going to take them into the fourth quarter likely and continue the drive. Boy, if New Brighton could have stopped him there, then it would have been 3rd and 9. Big difference.
They're lucky they were able to hold on to his jersey and slow him down because he was off to the races. Clark takes a snap, hands it off to Dawkins over the left side. Dawkins this time, he gets to the second level, to the third level. Big 11-yard pickup all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Christian Dawkins running with authority on that play over the left side.
How about that they ran Clark, constant Clark, Dawkins on occasion, a little bit here, a little bit there. Now they're going back to the offense they had previous to this game. Dawkins, full force, bigger guy, into the line against some tired guys playing both ways. And now look out, we're going to go to the fourth quarter.
And the score, 14-6, Beaver Falls driving against New Brighton on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Al's Corner is not just for gas. That's right. They offer gas, of course, but also fresh food and snacks every day. Let Al's do the cooking. They make fresh subs on their homemade bread daily. They offer hot foods like tacos, fish on Friday, plus wraps, salads, and more. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make a visit to Al's Corner in Koppel. Call Al's today to place your order. Make your football party be the envy of your family and friends. Follow them on Facebook for their daily specials. That's Al's Corner on the corner off Route 18 and 351 in Koppel.
We are back to the start of the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to go in regulation, and Beaver Falls is up by 8, and they are driving at the 35-yard line of New Brighton. Latest score from the Fry Transportation Update Desk.
Well, we got a couple things. Montour 42-0 over Ambridge, Tank's favorite team, and Elwood City 32-0 over Riverside. Tank loves Ambridge. He loves the community.
He's a closet fan. Is that what it is?
He loves the community.
Snap
That's the
back.
two that I got.
Clark hands it. Christian Dawkins, stutter step up the middle, pickup of a few yards on first down. And Christian Dawkins just looks fresh at this point. Xavier Clark ran so much in that first half, and Christian Dawkins, that power bruising tailback. And he just looks like he wants the ball again and again and again.
It's like they drew this up as, let's just give him Clark, and then we'll get a fresh guy in there in the fourth quarter and run them down their throat. That is big, and that's really turned things around here because now it's 2nd and 7.
Xavier Clark, running backs on either side. This time it's Jewell over the left side, and Jewell gets around that edge, and he gets a nice pickup down close to the first down yardage he needs. They're going to say he's about a yard short, maybe 2. So a third and what looks to be about 2 yards now for Beaver Falls. Scores, how about this? There's a football game going on up in Newcastle. 14-10, Newcastle leads West Allegheny.
Yep.
Let's see here. The Quips up by 11 on Blackhawk, 28-17.
It's closer than I thought it would be.
Hopewell up by 21 on Freeport,
No big
28-7. It's all about Southside over Neshannock, 35-7 in the third. And Central Valley, 49-0 on Quaker Valley. This time Xavier Clark slips again in the backfield. Does he get enough for the first down? It looks as though he may have. He had to get to the 25, and they're waving him through. He slipped and fell, but fell for first down pickup. Other scores. Let's see if we have everybody. And the Tigers and Moon all over Baldwin, 30-0. So that's the latest from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. So now Beaver Falls continuing the drive. Clock is moving. We're under 10:50 to go in this fourth quarter. They're spreading everybody out. 3 wide receivers wide. Nobody deep defensively. And this time it's Kenny Jewell over the left side. They're trying to strip the ball, but he was able to hold on to it. Here comes a flag late. What are they going to call here? Is it going to be against Beaver Falls on a holding potentially for a line block?
Not sure, but Beaver Falls, the theory now is get up to the line, wait, eat clock, get up to the line, get down to the last few seconds, and then snap and just eat as much time as you can here.
Hold on.
Score.
Penalty against Beaver Falls.
Doesn't help there. Doesn't help them.
And so now Beaver Falls gets backed up on this one. And it was, since it was a spot foul, they're going to back them up to about the 36-yard line.
It helps New Brighton, for sure.
And New Brighton needs this stop. The clock is now running. 10:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Xavier Clark with Christian Dawkins on his left hip. Kenny Jewell up in a fullback position on the right side. They hand it off to Dawkins. Dawkins, stutter step, makes a couple of people miss, continues to plow forward. They're going to blow it dead before he hits the ground. And he's back near the original line of scrimmage, but he's still short of it by a yard. He needed to be able to get back to the 25-yard line, but they got him to the 26. And so now, New Brighton needing to get this big stop on second down, 2nd and 12. Here come the Tigers. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Xavier Clark with Dawkins and Jewell on either side. Hand off to Dawkins around that right side. Penetration, but he was able to break the tackle. Makes another man miss and another man miss until ultimately finally brought down around the 20-yard line.
They
big. Had him behind the line of scrimmage, but they just could not make the tackle, and he was able to break 2 more tackles.
Exactly. On the right side, could have been brought down after only a couple yards. Ends up getting 5, keeps the clock going. Now we're at 8:53. Still 3rd down and 5. They've got a chance here, but they can't let them score. Have to get the ball back somehow, some way without letting them score. Again, they'll still be New Brighton. The season's not lost if they would lose this game, but it sticks them down in 4th place, maybe 5th. I'm pretty sure 4th with Union losing.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be tied with Freedom now, I believe.
Yeah, if I had to go after Christian Dawkins around the outside, I'm going for the knee.
Yeah, you have
knees
to.
The ankle, somewhere in there just to trip him up. Did the New Brighton jump?
Yep.
They
Yeah,
did.
I thought I saw that.
Giving the Tigers an automatic first down.
I mean, we're a long way away from there, but I'm looking. I said to myself,
that's awfully close.
I said to myself, boy, it looked like somebody jumped. It just looked like a flinch to me, and we're a good 60 yards away. And next thing I know, flag up in the air. So, yeah, I'm not that old yet. I can still see a little bit.
Look at that. How about this? One more time, Xavier Clark gets either a first down or gets them clearly within first down pickup by getting the defense to jump on that snap count. What a mature move for us.
He's an athlete. Somewhere, somehow, in the next couple of years, somewhere, someone's going to see him. So a coach, high school, a college coach, going to see this kind of stuff on film, and people are going to be asking about him.
Handoff. Dawkins has it. Down inside near the end zone. Touchdown, Christian Dawkins. They kept on running him over that right side, and that right side ultimately paying off. Jazir Harris, the freshman they keep on running behind, and Zyvon Walker, the senior. And that's just been the dominating performance by this offensive line against a senior set of defensive linemen for New Brighton.
I got to tell you, I mean, you're 100% right. I can't add anything to that. I mean, that's just a tremendous blocking. They've done it all night long, not just a series here or a series there.
Coach Mooney said Jazir Harris, he's one of those guys you're going to see playing at the next level. And did he get a 2-point conversion?
No.
He did not. He fell short. Dawkins short of it. So it's 20-6. Beaver Falls up by 14 in the fourth quarter. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
If the black and gold can get a new quarterback every year, maybe you can switch teams too. This is Coach Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. I'm looking for new free agents, or should I say, members. Our membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Here we go, 20-6. Beaver Falls, another statement game here. They could make it 4 wins in a row since the last time we covered them against Western Beaver. And now Beaver Falls clearly in control of their own destiny. They look as though they are a playoff caliber team, that they are going to get a nice high seed. Botched kickoff return, able to pick it up off the bounce, and a nice return ultimately by Michael Cleckley on the return all the way out to about the 43-yard line. So if Beaver Falls is able to hold on to this lead, they're going to be second in the Midwestern Athletic Conference.
By
and
themselves.
who would have thought that this was even possible 4 weeks ago?
Exactly. It'll be Western. They're playing Mohawk. They should come up with a victory. They'll be 5-0. Riverside will now be 3-2. Beaver Falls will go to 4-1, so they'd be second by themselves. And then Riverside would be tied with Elwood. Actually, Elwood would have a game up on Riverside. They'd be in third, and in fourth would be a tie with New Brighton and Freedom at 2-3. So now New Brighton's in danger. If they get a loss or two, they're going to be in trouble making the playoffs.
Good news for New Brighton. Jojo Montanez back in action. Back to pass. Looking, man over the middle. Intercepted. Beaver Falls has it. Beck is going up the right sideline. He's up to the 40, 35, 30. Makes a man miss. Continues on his feet. Finally taken down near the 20-yard line. Another turnover for the Beaver Falls Tigers.
2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. Couldn't have come at a worse time. That's a tough one because there's still time on the clock, and you go down and score, you still win it now. You got to figure, and we got another man down on the field, you figure Beaver Falls punches this in. I've already seen people from New Brighton walking out of here, and they score again. I think you're going to see a lot more people leaving.
So we'll take a timeout for the injured player on the field. 7:31 to go in regulation, 20-6. Beaver Falls beating New Brighton on Beaver County Radio.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your local insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder and Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales. You shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote, so if you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
And we're back as they tend to the injured player for New Brighton. We'll check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. You can find out more about Joe, just go to boompoundsolar.net. Joe?
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. The third quarter here, the score is 32-0. Elwood City over Riverside. So far, Elwood City outplaying the cross-time rivals here with 8:44 left in the third. Smiley did to DiNucci, 40-yard touchdown pass, 32-0. 2 points, no good again. Remember, I'm Boom Pow DIY Solar. I'm A+ rated with the BBB. 32-0. Back to Mike and Mangino. Elwood City up top.
Thank you, Joe. 7:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff. Christian Dawkins over that right side once again. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Christian Dawkins. Once again, they run over that right side. Once again, Christian Dawkins, a big score to seal this game for Beaver Falls.
Yeah,
26-6.
In a situation like this, now you see people rising and going. A situation like this, you kind of, with that interception, it takes a lot of juice out of New Brighton. And now you're Beaver Falls, you're dominating the game, and New Brighton, you're brought down. And I'm not saying you're not trying as hard, but a guy like Dawkins is running hard, and you're not going to take him down. He's going to score, and he wants to look good on the stat sheet too.
And now they're set to go for two. Xavier Clark rolling to the left, decides to take it himself, trying to get the 2-point conversion, and it looks as though he is short. So they're going to call it no good. 26-6. Beaver Falls up by 20 with 7:24 to go in the fourth quarter on Beaver County Radio.
Are you looking for a cigar, tobacco, vape, and roll your own supply store in Beaver County? Visit Vape and Roll With It at 751 Merchant Street, Ambridge, to shop for a variety of the best cigars in the walk-in humidor. They also sell vape juice, disposable vapes, glass, and CBD. You can also view several of their in-store promotions by following Vape and Roll With It on Facebook and Instagram. Visit vapeandrollwithit.com for more information. Don't worry about prices or stress, just roll with it. Open 7 days a week on Merchant Street in Ambridge. That's Vape and Roll With It.
Beaver Falls just looking absolutely fantastic tonight. 4 wins in a row now to enter conference play. They struggled so desperately in out-of-conference play. And then with that loss to Western Beaver, they were showing signs that they were getting better and better. And then there was just something that flipped for them. And then the last 4 weeks have been able to pull off victories. And now this for the fourth one that looks as though it's going to happen tonight. Nice return by Cleckley. He's all the way inside Beaver Falls territory. He's off to the races. Could he go for 6? He's taken down inside the 5-yard line. What a return.
Interesting.
By Cleckley.
They're going to start at the 3-yard line. A little bit of life left in this team. Score your 2 touchdowns down. Still not enough time, I don't think, unless you get an onside kick. You never know, but
what a great heart by Cleckley to be able to return that the way that he did, trying to single-handedly will his team to get back into this game. But they're going to need a whole lot more than a big special
no
teams
doubt about that.
play to be able
helps.
to do this. But you're right, clearly a step in the right direction for New Brighton. Now they get it. 1st and goal inside the 4-yard line. Carter Jackson with Heath Lewis in the backfield. Man in motion. Hands it off. Lewis. Dive over the right side. He gets the touchdown. Heath Lewis for 6. Now it's 26-12 for New Brighton. You got to believe they're going to go for 2 at this point. Make it a 12-point game if they can do that.
You think it's too early for an onside kick? If they make this, they're down 12. There's still 2 possessions. No matter which way you look at it, it's still 2 scores. And you know if Beaver Falls, even if you stop them, they're probably going to get a first down or 2. They've dominated you most of the night. If you don't get a turnover, you have to hope to get the ball back with 3 or 4 minutes to go. Will you have enough time to score twice? I think I'd onside kick.
2-point conversion attempt. Carter Jackson under center. Man in motion. Drops the ball. Scrambling. Looking for some room and tackled at the 15-yard line. So the two-point conversion is no good. They're down by 14. 26-12. 7:04 to go in the fourth. Back with the kickoff in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager of Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Back, and New Brighton not ready to give this game up yet. 7:04 to go in the fourth quarter. They're trailing by 14 points, 26-12, and now Carter Jackson to kick it away. It is a line drive kick and taken by one of the up men, and a very smart play. Just grabs the ball and falls on it and turns it over to the offense at the 43-yard line of Beaver Falls.
You know,
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
And we're back. It is now second down, Beaver Falls. There was an injury timeout on the field for New Brighton, and fortunately the player is up and walking off the field under his own power, and looks as though he is going to be able to return at this point. Hopefully he will. And a handoff, and then a pickup of about 2 yards for Beaver Falls, and now a third down. Clock continues to run, and Tank, it looks as though that Beaver Falls is more than content to let as much time go off the play clock as possible between snaps.
Yeah, the previous time they had the ball, they asked the umpire to make sure that they're going to be raising their hand at 10 seconds ago and then at 5. So they're going to be waiting all the way down to 1 and 5 seconds before they snap these balls.
Xavier Clark has it. Shotgun. Christian Dawkins on his left hip. Kenny Jewell in the fullback position ahead of him. 3 wide receivers, 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Takes a snap, hands it off to Dawkins over that right side. Dawkins off to the races, out to the outside. He's sprinting down the sideline, down inside the 20-yard line. Big first down pickup for Christian Dawkins.
That interception just is taking the wind out of New Brighton's sails completely. We talked about it before. And, you know, when you got Dawkins who's pretty fresh, and he's just zipping through. I tell you what, this is going to be if New Brighton doesn't come back here, this is going to be a really hard loss because guess who they got next week? Western Beaver.
Yes.
And now they will be sixth because record-wise tied for Freedom. If Freedom continues to win, if things go the way they are, but they lost to Freedom, so that would put them at sixth. Top three make it, plus 2 wild cards between 3 conferences. So right now, New Brighton is definitely going to be out of the playoffs.
Xavier Clark to Dawkins one more time, bouncing it over the right side. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Christian Dawkins. They found a formula over that right side, and they refused to stop. And it's just pretty much one of those situations. Listen, we're going to do this.
Yep.
And if you're not going to stop us, that's on you. But we're going to keep on doing it until you stop it.
How about Beaver Falls? It was Clark 80% of the time. First quarter, second quarter, most of the third quarter. Then all of a sudden, at the end of the third quarter, and now it's all Dawkins and not Clark. And now it's Dawkins and not Clark's. And I don't know.
At this point, I don't think it would make a difference who would be running the ball. I just think that they're calling the plays for Dawkins and figured why not let him ground this thing out.
But he wasn't a big focus for the first 3 quarters, and now he is, and he's got 3 TDs in this quarter. And he's helped them salt this game away. Clark set it all up, and he's ended it all pretty much here for the Lions.
So when you're looking at this Beaver Falls team and what they have coming up, they are just looking absolutely stellar at this point.
No doubt.
The only times that they did not look as though they were in control of this game, it was because of penalties.
And now you're looking at a Beaver Falls team, as you mentioned this a little bit ago, a higher seed. If you can stay in second place, you're going to get a higher seed. You might get as high as a 4 or 5. And that's going to really get you a home playoff game. Get the crowd out for you, and there are going to be a lot of advantages to help you out. And I got to tell you, this Beaver Falls team looking really, really good tonight. Power running, good quarterback play, smart game manager. They throw it when they need to. Other than some penalties, this is a good team coming from the MAC. And we've got some good teams here in Beaver County, and we're seeing one really rise here in the.
There's a reason to believe that Beaver Falls can run the table at this point in the conference.
Yeah.
Because they have Riverside next, and Riverside is being manhandled by Elwood City tonight.
Yeah.
And then they play an Elwood City team that when they played New Brighton, it was all the way down to the final moments of the game.
Yeah.
And Beaver Falls is just seemingly having their way with New Brighton.
That's why I'm saying.
You got to wonder, can they do the same thing against Elwood City?
They could win. They might be able to win 6, 7 in a row.
The kickoff and taken down inside the 30-yard line for New Brighton. So they get the ball back now. They're trailing 32-12. 5:34 to go in the fourth quarter.
And again, Western and Beaver Falls probably make the playoffs for sure. And then it's a fight between Elwood, Riverside, Freedom, and New Brighton. But Freedom and New Brighton got work to do. So it's probably going to be Elwood or Riverside for that third position. But Elwood's going to have a thing on them. Do we get one of the 4 wild cards? Likely. So you're probably likely looking at Riverside, Freedom, and New Brighton fighting for 1 wild card. Maybe a second, but probably just 1.
What's really interesting about this game, too, is that New Brighton just seems to be playing as though they were not ready for this game. But at the same time, in talking to Coach McCougar earlier in the week, they recognize this is a playoff game. This, for them, it's a play and you're in. They need this, especially because they know what's coming up against them next week when they get Western Beaver. That's not going to be an easy game. And the way that Union's been playing, there's a thought that Union, they had a couple of key injuries early in the season, and Beaver Falls struggled against Union when they played Union.
Exactly.
And were only able to beat them by 6 points.
So, exactly. Now here Union is getting beat up by Freedom. Maybe Beaver Falls overlooked Union a little bit. That happens with kids, with teams they know aren't good. So, if New Brighton can somehow beat Western Beaver, then beat Union, they become 4-3 and likely would make the playoffs. So they're going to have to win 2, I think, to have a chance at the playoffs. They're going to have to. 1, maybe an outside chance.
It's just hard to believe that anybody's going to beat Western.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Western, Beaver Falls, Elwood City, right now the class of the conference. We knew Western was, but I never thought at the beginning of the year we would think. I thought Beaver Falls, we said it, hey, listen, they got a chance to be a playoff team. They're a playoff team. And now, can they do some damage in the playoffs is the question.
Carter Jackson rolling, completed pass. Cleckley has it out over the 40-yard line. And now they're close to a first down pickup. It's still about a yard or so short. They're going to call it down at the 40, almost 42. So a 2nd and 1, 5:14 to go. And they're trying to run a bit of a hurry up here. 4 wide receivers now in the formation. Carter Jackson back to pass, looking. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Isaiah Sellers from his linebacker position. Full sprint to hit Carter Jackson. Nobody blocked him.
Yeah, he stood back there in the pocket, never moved, looked too long, never got out of the pocket, didn't get away, and that 2 or 3 extra seconds standing there just got him drilled, and a big loss. You either got to move left, move right, get out of the way. He didn't sense it coming. Big loss.
3rd and 10 now. Back to pass, quick pass, and just incomplete. Not able to make the connection with his receiver on that one. He was looking to the near side and just not able to make the connection. They've had a difficult time throwing the ball just about all night long.
And when one thing goes wrong, everything starts going wrong. I mean, had a chance there when Beaver Falls committing penalties and they threw the interception, and since then everything has gone wrong for New Brighton. Everything. It's just not their night right now. And when things don't go right, and even though you're coming on as a program, and they go against you.
Back to pass, looking, throws it over that right side, got a man, and out to the 40-yard line, but short of a first down pickup.
Why they stopped the clock.
And now it's first down, turnover on downs for Beaver Falls.
Why.
They get it with 4:17 to go. Looking at the Fry Transportation Update desk, the Moon Tigers all over Baldwin, 37-7 in the fourth quarter. Hopewell rolling past Freeport, 42-7 in the fourth. Aliquippa up by 11 on Blackhawk, 28-17. Central Valley got the 49-0 on Quaker Valley, and the last score I have is halftime. And then Union Scotties falling to Freedom, 20-14. They're calling that a final. Southside beating the Shannock 35-7. That's a final. West Allegheny went to Newcastle and upset the Hurricanes, 24-14.
You know what that means? That means that Aliquippa still has a chance possibly to win the conference. I mean,
Newcastle has to lose one more time in order to make that happen.
That's true, but still it opens the door. West Allegheny's a good team. I mean, again, Beaver County football, all these teams are a lot closer together than they were in the past. Aliquippa's not as dominant.
Yes.
Rochester's not quite as dominant. New Brighton's better. Beaver Falls is better. And everybody's come closer together. Great competition.
And now Jojo Montanez coming back off the field. A little bit of a limp there. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Handoff, this time over the right side. Breaking a tackle, breaking another one, plowing forward, trying to get that first down pickup. And he gets about 7 on that carry. What a nice run by Marshawn Williams-Smith. They are now bringing in some of the number 2s to be able to get some reps here. And you don't blame them. I mean, they're keeping Xavier Clark in. They want him to run the offense.
Yeah,
but they're
fumbles.
bringing in some fresh guys to be able to get some quality snaps. And this is what you do. When you're up 32-12, you're up by 20 with under 3 minutes to go. There are a lot of guys who work hard that are freshmen and sophomores that aren't otherwise getting the opportunity. This is what matters to get them the reps so that next year, as they're called upon, as the seniors graduate, they come in and can make a difference. Handoff once again, first down pickup for Beaver Falls. And that once again, Marshawn Williams-Smith on the carry. And a first down for Beaver Falls, 2:33 to go. And the clock will pick up once they set the ball.
It's almost time to start talking about player of the game.
All right. Who are you liking for player of the game?
To me, it's hands down easily. It's Clark. Xavier Clark for Beaver Falls, and on the other side for New Brighton.
I thought you were going to call Christian Dawkins.
No. I like Dawkins, 3 touchdowns in the game, but they don't get to Dawkins unless Clark does what he does the first 3 quarters, in my opinion.
I think there's a very fair argument in that.
On both. You can say either one, but I don't know. And plus the 2 calls and getting them to jump off sides at least twice.
Oh, yeah, those were huge plays. There are many guys. Oh, my goodness, what a hit. Xavier Clark went down hard on a sack, strip pickup, and off to the races. The defender goes, and a touchdown. Keyshawn Jamison just leveled Xavier Clark, who was looking down his left side and never saw Keyshawn Jamison coming, and just got taken out. Now, if you're going to put that on anybody, maybe you put that on Steve Campos, the offensive coordinator who called that play. Just run the ball and see what happens.
I agree. And what I'm saying is, Dawkins had a great fourth quarter, but 2 of his touchdowns are when New Brighton's out of the game. And I'm not saying they don't care, but the fight's out of them. To me, touchdowns don't mean a lot when the game's out of control. When the game was tight and tough, that first 3 quarters, he ran the clock, made him jump off sides. First down after first down after first down. Clearly the best player on the field, hands down. There's a couple guys close to linemen and people like that, but clearly the best player on the field the first 3 quarters.
Who do you like for the Lions?
The Lions probably got to go with Lewis, I would think. He's been tough when he's had the ball. I'd go with Heath Lewis, good on offense and defense.
I like JoJo Montanez, too.
Yeah.
Let's go down to Tank on the sideline. Tank, when you're looking at CCBC players of the game, what are you thinking about at this point?
So I believe you're right with JoJo Montanez from New Brighton. I think he's been playing super hard, all the hard work. I disagree with Mike on, I really feel Dawkins should be player of the game. He was eating for blocking in the first half. He's falling right behind him if you watch the film back. And honestly, Dawkins, down here on the sideline, you could tell how hard he is running. He took the team on his back the second half.
Yeah, Christian Dawkins played exceedingly well. In fact, you look at this would be a great time to consider that idea of an offensive line too as player of the game, because the entire offensive line for Beaver Falls.
That's a good point, too.
Dominated on offense, and when the guys that played on defense, they were absolutely stellar. Jacob Jesseman, the leader as the senior, the 5'11", 300-pound guy. And then you have guys that are also there, like that freshman I've been talking about all night long, that Coach Mooney thinks that he could be D1 talent at some point.
He's another guy. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Hey, maybe we split again, and maybe Frank Sparks has to make the decision 2 weeks in a row.
Hold on a second. Last time we did that, we gave it to a lineman, and we didn't give it to the tailback who rushed for 200 yards.
I agree with that.
We're not giving Frank any more choices.
So you're saying Frank's Sparks
on the outs.
He's on the outs. So
he's on the outs.
So if you pick the lineman, then we're going to have
We're not going. I'm not saying I'm picking a lineman. All I'm saying is that when you look at guys who do well, Xavier Clark did what he did in the first half.
No doubt.
And
through 3
Christian
quarters.
Dawkins did what he did in the second half.
In the fourth quarter.
Because of what took place because of the line.
Then let's pick the lineman then.
You can't give the line the player of the game.
You can give one guy a line.
Well, you don't pick out one when there's 5 that make it happen.
Yeah, but you could.
We did that last week. Christian, to me, if I got to pick a player of the game, I'm going to Xavier Clark. Because Xavier Clark, when the game mattered the most, in that first 2.5 quarters, first 3 quarters, was so impressive in the way that he managed the game, the way he ran that offense, the way he made plays when there weren't plays to be made.
Exactly.
And his ability to be able to get defenders to jump, to go from 4th and 6 to a 4th and 1.
No doubt.
It's just absolutely huge.
And again, Dawkins, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but
no, he
didn't get effective until late third quarter. He barely did anything in the third. And, he scored 2 of his touchdowns when this game was out of control. So, to me, nothing away from the kid, but Clark is better when the game was on the line. That's why I picked him.
And a lot of it comes down to just play calling, too. I think if they would have continued to run Xavier Clark, that it still would have been a great play. And onside kick attempt, and now Beaver Falls gets it and off to the races, and he just picked it for 6.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a while.
No, I haven't either. And that was a great play, the attempted onside kick, and the kid gets it and goes off to the races and gets himself a touchdown. What a great performance on special teams on that. Normally you just dive on it and just turn it over to the offense. And then what a flip. You go from that strip sack touchdown, and then you feel like, okay, maybe there's something we could be playing for. Then all of a sudden, Beaver Falls hits you again, and then whatever you thought you had, you don't.
34 points now in the second half, waiting on the 2-point conversion, only 14 in the first. I didn't see this coming. Some of it I did, but not quite. Saw that. That's pretty funny. But, hey, you got to remember who signs the pain checks. Okay, you got to remember that.
Well, you want to give JD a vote now.
Well, but Frank is our conduit to the guy that says that's a big check. You know what? I mean, Mr. Sparks agrees with me again, and I got to say, good minds think alike.
Apparently so. Are you concerned that you weren't going to get a check this week? Is that why you're talking him up so much right now?
No, I get paid because I'm the star of the show.
I know
that.
You're the king.
You know that.
You're the king. 38-6. Is it
18?
38-18.
Yeah, they missed a 2-point
conversion.
They
missed a 2-point conversion. Okay. They kicked it. The extra point is up, and it's good, and Beaver Falls is celebrating that extra point like it was the greatest thing that they've ever done. How about that? Number 14, Jackson Zahn. I'm sorry, Hunter Kreiser. Hunter Kreiser. He is the guy they turn to if they go for the PAT, and he's about as thrilled as a young man can be, and the entire team is with him too. So let's go with the CCBC players of the game. We'll go with Xavier Clark, number 3, the quarterback for Beaver Falls, and then Jojo Montanez for New Brighton.
I agree with Montanez. I mean, I like the other guy too, but Montanez, I agree with what Tank says. Big time on defense as well. Quick question, because I missed the number. Who scored that run back for...
The run back on the kick, I believe, was Keyshawn Jameson. Let's go to Tank on the sideline first. Tank, did you get it? Was that number 11, Keyshawn Jameson?
No, that was number 10, the freshman, according to the stands behind me. It was number 10 for Beaver Falls that had that run back.
Jackson Quinn. I was one number off. Thank you very much, Tank. Jackson Quinn, the wide receiver safety. How about this? He's a freshman on the special teams and saying, Coach, give me some reps, man. Get me out there in this game. I can play for you. And Coach Mooney loves this freshman class. He thinks this freshman class is better than the sophomore class that came in last year. That's
good for them, and that's good for this program, because now you get back to, I mean, it's very unusual for a school like Beaver Falls to have 2 and 3 people in a class, but that's what they had for junior and senior classes the last year. And even this year, they're still young. But now you're building up that. Now you're going to get a lot of kids coming out again. Next year's senior class will be bigger, junior class, and you're going to get the Beaver Falls teams that are coming up have been good. So they're going to get back to being the Beaver Falls that everybody gets to know. And they're coming a little quicker than people thought, because, the way I have things, they are definitely a playoff team. And New Brighton, if they don't beat Western, may not get there, and it probably won't if they don't beat Western.
See, I think Beaver Falls at this point, not only are you looking at a legit playoff team that doesn't have to worry about how they're going to get in, they're in. And I think they can make some noise in the playoffs, too.
I agree with you. With their schedule, and they're going to end up being a high seed.
Wow, what a great run. Brighton right up the middle, breaking it to the outside, all the way up inside the 20-yard line. Huge run by number 7 for New Brighton, and my goodness, that was impressive. Granted, Beaver Falls is like, okay, this game is all wrapped up, but you know what? These kids get in, and they want to be able to show themselves that, listen, I'm ready to play this game. I want to be in on this action too. And
just to let folks know, we're going to, obviously talk about things in a post-game show. We'll talk standings. We'll talk about what we're going to do next week. And we'll talk about what's going to happen on the post-game show and the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show, and we'll also talk about Coach's Corner next week.
Is number 7 for New Brighton? That was who had that big play. Let me make sure I have this right. Number 7 for New Brighton, Jamarcus Morris.
Young freshman?
Jamarcus Morris is actually a senior.
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, a lot of speed. He can't crack the lineup. I guess Montanez and co have kept him out, but he's on there now. And I tell you what, we had him as a guy to watch for, but we never saw him up until now. Yeah, when you got Lewis and you got Montanez.
And Carter Jackson hands it off. And once again, sprinting for the end zone. This time, once again, Jamarcus Morris saying, listen, I want to play. Give me some reps here. And big score by the New Brighton Lion. And they are not giving up. 39-24, less than 35 seconds to go.
Well, defense took a back seat here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fourth quarter alone. I mean, all the points in the half. This game was 14-6 in the third quarter. 14-6. So we're talking 20 points, and now we're sitting at 62. 42 points in the fourth quarter, guys.
That's great.
That's a lot of points in a quarter.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
It's been a track meet in this fourth quarter.
It's going to make it look like it's a lot closer, but in reality, this game was over late third quarter.
Beaver Falls just looked to be in control of this game.
From the first quarter.
Yes.
Plain and simple. I mean,
they did.
They were the better offensive line, and it's Tank has pointed out, and you and me, and we've got...
And
right there on the sidelines, what's that big boy there? That's an ambulance.
There's an ambulance that is trying to get out onto the field.
I don't even see anybody.
And we're not
down.
sure why they're trying to get onto the field, unless they're trying to get over to.
Is there something?
This sideline.
Is it a fan, or is it a player? I don't know if it's a player.
There is a player that is down, on the sideline.
He must have been there for a bit because we didn't see anybody getting carted off.
I didn't. No, nobody did get carted off. Everybody got up and walked off on their own power. That was injured at some point in this game, but at some point, just not able to get up, and so the officials stopped the play. And then contacted the emergency personnel, and now they're here on the sideline.
And the coaches for
medic rescue is here. They're parked on the 35. Looking at the angle that we have, there are fans that are nearby that we're just not able to see. And it was a little bit of a surprise, I think, to just about everybody here.
Yeah.
That this ambulance gets up to
the coaches from Beaver Falls are walking over. And the Beaver Falls players are toward their sideline. New Brighton's still on the field. But the New Brighton players, this is really odd.
Tank, I realize that you're on the other side of the field. Is there anything that you're able
They're lining up to finish it. They're lining up and ending this game, buddy.
I think they're going to, yeah. What's the point of playing any longer at this point with 34 seconds left to go? So they're going to go ahead and line up and just greet each other at midfield. And considering that you have a player that needs to be taken off the field potentially in an ambulance at this point, how do you continue play?
Yeah, I do get that.
There's no meaningless.
It doesn't. That's unusual. You know, I kind of saw when the Beaver Falls coaches walked to midfield. I kind of had a feeling that might be it, and then the players started lining up. Boy, I really hope that that young man is okay. Don't know who it is.
No idea.
And we don't want to speculate at all.
But
nobody. We didn't see anything. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second now. The New Brighton player. Hold on a second now. This is something going on here, buddy. The New Brighton players walked away from the handshake, and there's a lot of talking going back and forth. This isn't good. They want to play, and they refused the handshake and walked away.
Now they're walking.
They're walking. This is very bizarre, my friend. They got to the handshake, and New Brighton walked away from the handshake. I've never seen that in a game. I'm surprised.
There are a couple of New Brighton players that are talking to a couple of Beaver Falls players around midfield, but you're right. For the most part, all of New Brighton's team is now walking off the field, and now they're being ushered back by coaches, it seems. Okay,
to me,
it looks as though that there are officials within New Brighton that are bringing the players back.
Yeah, to me, you got to make these kids have sportsmanship, and you gotta win or lose. Sportsmanship's number one. And Beaver Falls was standing there, and now they're just whooping up with their fans. I don't blame them. And I don't know. I wasn't on the field. Obviously, Dan Campbell's down there. Tank is down there as well. Tank, let's go to Tank because he's waving at us, buddy.
Tank, what do you have down there, buddy?
All right, first off, there was a altercation going on down here with a couple of the players, and the coaches got involved, and they basically said, go to your respective sidelines. Hopefully some sportsmanship is taught here a little bit tonight, but also a bigger heartfelt, looks like our player of the game, Jojo Montanez, is going in the ambulance right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Jojo Montanez, he did come off the field, and it was an ankle injury. It looked as though it was let me say it this way. It looked as though it was a lower leg injury the way he was coming off the field the last time he came off not feeling well.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because we talked to him and he was getting over that injury, but it just seemed like, I'm going to go with what Tank says because he's down there. Obviously, I'll give him the credit for it as the ambulance is now coming off the field. The coaches told the players to go to the sideline. So I said it looked like New Brighton walked away, but the coaches told both teams to go away, as Tank said. So thanks for Tank for that.
All right, well, what we'll do is we'll get Tank and talk to Coach Mooney. And maybe that's I tell you what, Tank, maybe the best thing to do at this point is let's just talk to Coach Mooney and not talk to one of the players. I just think there's a potential for some emotionalism that just wouldn't necessarily be suitable at this point. But let's see if we can get Coach Mooney on first, at least, before we talk to one of the players. So we talk to Xavier Clark, the CCBC player of the game for Beaver Falls. And it looks as though Coach Mooney right now is getting the team huddled up and to be able to talk about the post-game conversation.
Emotional week. I think both teams last week were thinking about this. We talked about it on Wednesday. It's Jug Week. Everybody knows about it. We have and now you got some New Brighton kids going down throwing things onto the logo. So you gotta watch that stuff.
They look like they're like 10.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying you gotta. But anyway, it's emotional. You lost last year at your place. Now you come here, you're emotional. They came in here, they hit hard, they played hard. It's a good, fair game. But as Tank pointed out, there's a lot of extracurricular stuff going on after the plays. It's a tough physical game. And then you get there at the end of the game, kids are going to talk. Kids are going to yell. Things are going to happen. Emotions take over. Thankfully, there's no further altercations, but it happens, and luckily we didn't have any major problem, but Beaver Falls is going to celebrate a big victory here at New Brighton.
Not only do you have to be a good loser, at this level you need to coach being a good winner.
I agree with that too.
And you can't rub it in, and you can't insult, and you can't demean and stuff like that. So you have to have the right attitude about winning as well. I realize that they've gone through a lot of losing at Beaver Falls. But they've also now experienced 4 straight weeks of wins.
They have. And that's the thing is, remember now, a lot of these kids experienced that bad last year. When I say bad, it was real bad. And now it turns around, and I guess your emotions take over. You got to remember, see, here we go again. Now they got some players doing the same thing. They go to the logo, and even some of the players did it. You got to just win with class, lose with class. I agree 1,000%. No sense fanning the flames. Interesting.
Yeah, let's go down to Tank right now. He has Coach Mooney on the 50-yard line. Tank?
Yeah, I'm here with Coach Mooney. First off, congratulations, Coach. That was a great win. Your team came together. We were with you with week 0, and you were preaching this. You could tell that you were ready to go just with especially what I noticed at the beginning of the game on the back of your helmets, it says no excuses. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the kids found those stickers. They're old stickers that were sitting in the coach's room, and the kids found them and put them on themselves. I had nothing to do with it. They came out to practice one day and had no excuse stickers on the back of their helmet. Like, where the hell did you guys get these things? And I think it was probably Christian and Kenny and them guys, my leaders. And I think it was them, and then the line started going to it. They're growing every week as a team. One of the really cool things they're doing, I don't know if you saw them before the game, the whole team's down there now. That started with 2 kids, I think. So now the whole team was down there praying that. I was like, this is cool. So we're turning into a good football team. It's pretty exciting, man. Playoffs. Wow. Hell of a turnaround. I mean, so much grit in these kids, and it's too emotional, man. It's just too crazy. What a stupid game.
It's such a great game, and kudos to your coaching staff for turning this program around and getting back into Beaver Falls football. And Frank Sparks wanted to make sure I reminded you haven't lost since you interviewed with him. So I think you need to have another interview with Frank Sparks, right?
I think I've got something. And this week was crazy with media stuff, but I know I got Coach's Corner. I'm not even sure who's that with anymore.
That's with Mike Azadia.
That's coming up.
The King.
That's not this week, but the week after.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks, he's saying.
Yeah, right.
Coach, can you help us understand what happened here at the end of the game?
So they're asking up top. Can you explain a little bit what happened at the end there with the debacle, with the handshake? If you would like
even
to
before
share.
that, there was the decision to go ahead and call the game, and then what took place.
It's the second week. Their kids are chippy, my kids are chippy. Ain't neither one of them going to back down. And we started to get the lineup thing going, and then that talking started. And I don't think Johnny or I want any of that kind of crazy problems. Nobody needs that, especially the emotions of the game. I know that this was a big game for both teams. It's like I said, it locked us in for the playoff game, and I know Cougs is fighting his butt off to get there. So he got all his kids back. It's a hell of a football team, man. That Lewis kid is good. Martinez kid is good. The line was good. They're a good team.
Yeah.
Tank, ask him how much them coming in last year and winning at Beaver Falls, how these kids, did they remember that and want to come back here and do the same thing?
How much of this game tonight mattered because last year where New Brighton came into Geneva Field and took the jug from these kids and then came over here to New Brighton, had their own little parade with the fire department. Was that a big game for them this week because of that?
Well, I think so. A lot of the kids were pretty hyped about it. We had to bring that jug over here, and they got the whole assembly, and that was a tough minute. And I didn't bring any of the seniors from last year's team. I brought all underclassmen, so I did that on purpose last year. Like, no, you guys are going to go and take this jug back, and my seniors are excused, man. They're leaving, so I think that was on them. I hate to say we were looking forward to this one game at a time all year long, like every coach tries to, but like I said, I think. And once the Union game was over, man, it was all about New Brighton, and the ties between the communities and all that kind of stuff. And so, it was important to get here and win that jug back, especially for the kids. The jug is always fun. It's always a fun game to win, and then it's nice to get it back in Beaver Falls where it belongs.
Hopefully you got somebody there who's going to drink up the water out of it. So that's one thing I did when I was growing up. But that's right. Hey, and one last fun thing. That little helmet's going to be coming down, huh? Between you and Coach Coots.
I think we'll have to have a conversation about that probably later on.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much. Tank, do appreciate that. Tank's going to try to line up an interview with Xavier Clark, the CCBC player of the game for Beaver Falls. Jojo Montanez, the CCBC player of the game for New Brighton, taken off via ambulance. And it's interesting, the ambulance is still waiting in the parking lot. Fortunately, there's no emergency issue for JoJo. He came off because of what looked to be a lower leg injury, maybe re-injured that ankle once again, and just not able to get himself off under his
get
own
up and
power.
go, and they figure just to get him.
Abundance of caution.
Exactly, no doubt. I think you're 100% right. It looks like Ethan Morrison's talking to Xavier Clark, and then Tank will
text
talk to him.
Ethan and tell him to wrap that thing up. We have a radio show. We're live.
Hey, your guys are going to be cutting in.
We have a bigger radio deadline, and he has
my
a newspaper deadline.
You guys are going to be cutting into the postgame show. Not only the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. It's going to cut into that.
Tell me, do you remember this game, 2021, Class A semifinal nail-biter, Ulsh and Rochester?
This is 2021?
Yes.
This is a year after this
semifinal game.
I off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but
This
I'm
is
sure
a-
it was good. If Frank
Bob
Sparks
Barrickman
picked
had
it,
a
it was a
call.
good game.
Bob Barrickman and Jason Colangelo.
They're both
one of the
them.
most controversial games in WPIAL history.
I can't remember it. I'll be honest with you. Here's Tank.
All right, Tank with the Xavier Clark, the CCBC player of the game. Tank?
All right, yeah, I'm here with Xavier Clark. They call the guys on the sideline said you go by a different name. What do you go by?
Joey
Clark. All right, guys. CCBC player of the game. Hey, you're the first one to get 2 of these this year. You got 2 of the CCBC players of the game. You got this a lot because of your game management early on, running hard. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys' game plan and you guys following through with that.
But it's the most part of our line. Our line is amazing. I give all the credit for them and our running backs. Our running backs and our line. That's all my credit.
Yeah, you guys, you definitely had a great offensive line. They were playing super hard. Both sides were going. It was a true battle out here. It was a great jug game for the ages for sure. So talk to me once again. You're able to get those guys to jump off sides, man. Like, do you do that to your teachers in school?
No. It's repetition, though. I do it, like, every single day. Not all the time, but enough to make them jump. So, yeah.
All right. And once again, congratulations. Playoffs, right? Yeah. That's what you guys are talking about. So.
Hey, can you ask him a question for me?
Yeah, I got you, Mike.
Hey, ask him if he thought at the beginning of this year, if he imagined he'd be at this point right now at New Brighton, beating them to secure a playoff spot.
So before the season started, could you imagine your team being where you are right now and beating New Brighton at their home field and bringing home the jug?
As hard as I believe, yes, I had complete faith in my team today and the last game, the game before that, and the games to come. I believe fully in my team. I trust in them all.
There you go.
Good stuff. Hey, let's let him get back on the bus because I don't want them to leave him here.
There you go.
No, you guys.
It's not that far a walk though. So
you better hurry up and take off. There he goes. He's running for the bus. Xavier Clark. You got to love it too. The young guy, he knows enough. You got to get the credit to the big guys up at the line because you can't do all that dancing and running if you don't have the line.
He sounds like he's in 6th grade.
He does have that little voice, doesn't he?
He's still a young guy. He's a sophomore. I thought he was a freshman. He's a sophomore. He's a young guy, but boy, these coaches see something in him. He's talented. I like the way he plays the game. He's got skill. He's smart. He thinks about his linemen. He's a team guy. Really like what Jim Mooney and his coaching staff have done with this team. I feel bad for Coach McCouga and the Lions. I really do. But, coming into this game, I just felt that Beaver Falls was a little bit more ready for this. It was a little more talented and was ready for this. And I had a feeling that they don't like losing to this team, and they don't want to lose to them 2 years in a row, so they came out strong.
All right, we will have more of the Electric Garage Doors postgame show coming up in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Before and after school care will now be provided at the Beaver County YMCA for students enrolled in the New Brighton and Rochester school districts. Children in this program have the chance to do homework, make friends, and have fun. We're also excited to introduce Preschool Light, designed to help children learn through socialization, art, language development, and much more. For more information, please visit our website, www.beavercountymca.org.
Patriot Home Care is now hiring caregivers. Are you a caring and compassionate individual looking for a reliable income with benefits? Then call Patriot Home Care today. Benefits include health insurance, life insurance, paid vacation after 1 year, and 1.5 times hourly pay for overtime plus holiday hours. Patriot Home Care employees provide personal care, conversation and companionship, medication reminders, light housekeeping and laundry, meal preparation, and errands. Start your career in home care today and call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or apply online at patriothomecare.org.
Searching for a sleek new ride without breaking the bank this summer? All Access Automotive next to the YMCA has you covered. With reliable service, easy financing, and an extensive list of inventory, All Access Automotive has become the premier spot in Beaver County to find your car of the future. Looking to trade in your current vehicle? All Access will give you a fair trade-in value. Browse the eye-catching All Access lot Monday through Saturday and talk to an All Access representative and learn more today. All Access Automotive, where reliability and transparency come before anything else.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager of Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Not to be cheesy or anything, but Al's Pizza of Beaver County has deals, specials, and delicious options that'll blow your mind. Try Al's Deep Dish, a mouth-watering pie loaded with 2 pounds of cheese and Al's renowned pizza sauce. Looking to feed the whole fam? Al's Dinner Box with a half tray of 1-topping Sicilian pizza and a half tray of cheesy breadsticks is perfect for your family dinner tonight. Even if pizza isn't your thing, stop in and try the delicious Granny Franny Meatball Sub. Delivery from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Order today or stop in at Al's and try the best pizza pies Beaver County has to offer.
And we are back in New Brighton, Beaver Falls, taking back the jug. Let's go check scores at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Moon Tigers all over Baldwin, 37-7. I think they're going easy on them.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to make the play. We got a final. Okay, go ahead.
49-0 Central Valley on Quaker Valley.
Nope, got a final.
You got a final?
Yes, I do. Come on, man.
What final do you have?
Who are you talking to me?
What do you mean you have a final?
I just got one.
What final do you have?
The one you just mentioned.
Which one?
Central Valley.
Central Valley.
It's 63-21.
63-21.
That's the final.
Good night. Aliquippa 34-17. That's a final.
I got another one, too.
What do you have?
The Beaver North Catholic game.
Uh-oh. That's a big game. What happened?
Wow, what a good
What
game
happened?
Wow.
Are you going to tell us?
I don't know. Maybe
What are you waiting for?
Why don't we wait for people to join the...
What do you mean join? What do you mean join? Who is joining us?
The Falcones.
Tank is over there at the ambulance.
Moon Township Ford wrap-up show.
You can't wait for the milk. You can't
North
wait for
Catholic
Falcones.
beats Beaver 49-42.
Wow, what a game. What a game. Oh, that's a good game. Let's see here. Freedom top Union 20-14. Hopewell by 28 on Freeport, 48-20. Southside. Cruisers past Neshannock, 35-7. How about what Travel Piece is doing at Southside? He continues to put out winners and quietly, unassumingly,
and we forget about
dominates single A in football in Beaver County.
We forget about them sometime, and I really, really think. I mean, a lot of people, I don't want to say who, said, "Well, I don't think we're getting anybody down to Acrisure this year." Somebody told me.
Is that what somebody said?
I'm not going to say.
You're not going to. No way, somebody said that.
I don't want to say their name.
No, I don't blame you.
But
do they
I
sign
think,
checks?
Maybe. Southside has a legitimate chance. Western Beaver has a legitimate chance.
Yes, they do.
If Beaver Falls plays like this, they are going to be somebody to watch out for. Central Valley has a legitimate chance in 3A for sure. And in 4A, you still got Aliquippa and West Allegheny.
I wouldn't, considering how
wouldn't
weak.
Surprise me to get 4.
Considering that there isn't a dominant force or two dominant forces within the 4A in the entire WPIAL, that Aliquippa can easily get in there and say, you know what, I want to play for it.
And they're not beating up on teams like they always do, but they're still beating teams.
Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Mohawk upsets Western Beaver 33-20.
I told you that Western.
What'd you tell me?
I told you that Mohawk was a good team that had an injury to a running back early in the year.
And now Western Beaver, do you think you go into a game and you're feeling just a little too good about it?
If it's possible, they are. But for them to lose now, that could knock them down to a 2 seed maybe. But that's a big loss.
How about Beaver Falls now is number 1?
They didn't beat Beaver. They'd lose a tiebreaker to them because they lost to them.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, that's right. They lost to Western Beaver. That's the last loss they had. Wow. This is going to be, for the Midwestern Athletic Conference, watching this come down to the end is just so dramatic to see who's going to come out on top now that Western Beaver lost this game against Mohawk. I don't think anybody thought they were going to lose to Mohawk.
And now you think back to that game. They outplayed them in the first quarter, and there was no doubt. But they were still young, still learning, and just didn't know how to win and threw too many interceptions. If they don't turn the ball over, they play better. Bingo, they could have been. I'm not saying that it upset them, but that could have really thrown this MAC conference. If they could have won that game and surprised them, they'd be the first place team right now, and nobody would have thought that. No one would have thought that in the beginning of the year.
Time to check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. If you want to find out more about Joe and how he can save you a lot of money, go to boompowsolar.net.
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. The third quarter here, the score is 32-0. Elwood City over Riverside. So far, Elwood City outplaying the cross-time rivals here with 8:44 left in the third. Smiley did to DiNucci, 40-yard touchdown pass, 32-0. 2 points, no good again. Remember, I'm Boom Pow DIY Solar. I'm A+ rated with the BBB. 32-0. Back to Mike and Mangino. Elwood City up top.
Final thoughts from the Electric Garage Doors postgame show in New Brighton, where Beaver Falls wins back the jug. More coming up in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
This is Cindy Haladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union with a sizzling update. Hot weather can be uncomfortable, especially when your air conditioning needs fixed. Hot deals, well, that's a different story, right? Friendly Federal Credit Union is offering hot deals on home equity loans. Now, about that air conditioning, beat the heat and get the money to fix the thing with a hot deal home equity loan at Friendly Federal Credit Union. Member NC.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
If the black and gold can get a new quarterback every year, maybe you can switch teams too. This is Coach Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. I'm looking for new free agents, or should I say, members. Our membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Dr. Rafferty of the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. The pain caused by your bulging or herniated disc has made your life miserable. You've tried treatments that have only given you temporary relief and it's left you frustrated. That's why the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh created a non-invasive disc healing treatment. Yes, disc can heal. We proved it with a 98% success rate backed by medical research. Heal your disc, avoid surgery, and get back to normal. Call us today, 412-906-9600. We're here for you.
And we're back. One final segment here of the Electric Garage Doors postgame show. Postgame show on Beaver County Radio. Sorry about that. What a game. I mean, Beaver Falls came in here, and they wanted to make a statement that they are back in the Midwestern Athletic Conference, and they are with a vengeance, and now they are tied for the top, just a tiebreaker separating them and Western Beaver in this conference.
You know, neighborhood rivals. A lot of these kids know each other. They grew up playing against each other. They all know each other. New Brighton won last year after not winning for years and years, and Beaver Falls said that was a one-year thing. And they came in here and basically outplayed them most of the first 3 quarters. They didn't play well. New Brighton didn't move the ball. Beaver Falls did. Beaver Falls' line was better. The skill was better. And then the mistakes start piling up for you if you're New Brighton. And it just Beaver Falls was the better team. They were in the game, had a chance, but that interception If they could have scored there and made it 14-7, you're a one-score game, but it was 14-0. Even though Beaver Falls got the ball first in the second half, they didn't score. So New Brighton kept themselves alive. But think about that. If they score and then they get the ball back like they did, they would have had a chance to go down and tie the game. So that interception killed them. So turnover killed them, and, when you mix that all in there, it just wasn't New Brighton's night. They were close, though, Robert. I mean, if they could have had those things go well for them, and Beaver Falls tried to drag them back in, remember, with those penalties. A couple plays here or there. This game's tied, and we're in the mid-second half. But it didn't work out that way, and Beaver Falls, after the next interception in the third quarter, all heck broke loose then, and Beaver Falls just scored a whole bunch because New Brighton, the win was out of their sails.
What's coming up next on the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up
We'll talk
show?
about this one. We'll talk about Central Valley. We'll talk about Beaver. We'll talk about Hopewell. We'll talk about Aliquippa. We'll talk about everybody and everything Beaver County. We'll talk about the standings. We got a couple of guests coming on, and me and Ryan will give you all the scores, and I'm sure we'll get some callers like we usually do. And then don't forget, next week, Wednesday, we'll have, since we missed the Beaver Bobcats kids, we'll have them on Wednesday. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have Beaver Falls.
Nice stuff.
Coach's Corner.
Very good. All right, stick around. The Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show is next on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to 2025 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game was brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, Zookie's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio. 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM and AM 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.